Corey, what's up?
Look at Annette, what's up? Yo, yo.
I'm kind of on time. Look, we have matching backgrounds.
We do.
There's a balloon with an
you
elephant. Are you
you
in
don't want to know
India?
where that thing's from.
Oh my gosh, you're in India with a lighthouse.
Yeah,
They have lighthouses in India? I guess they must.
a little bit. Yeah, sure.
And then
Born, how you doing?
you're on a different planet because you have the moon behind you.
Yeah.
Which planet are you broadcasting from this evening?
We are somewhere in Montana when there's just been this balloon flying overhead for days now. I don't know.
I heard that it flew over Gloucester and it's out in the harbor right now.
Yeah. How you doing? Welcome back home.
I'm always good. Thank you. It was a quick trip.
Yeah.
But on the way back, I mean, it was like we left just in time. Like wind chill at Mount Washington, I heard it was 125 below zero.
Oh my God, I heard they had live shots. It was insanity.
I heard that someone went out and in 10 seconds they almost got frostbite.
Yeah, I believe it.
It was like scary.
What an idiot.
Well, there's people that work up there.
Yeah, well, I know. Stay inside. They know better.
They were probably just curious.
Yeah. They just stuck their hand outside the window. Oh, yeah. That hurts.
Pretty cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you ventured out, but it was colder than my whole life. All the winters I've been through in the north. I've never felt cold like that.
Yep.
Have you?
There have been a couple times I can count on one hand when I was going to school in northern Vermont.
I was just going to say in Vermont, maybe.
Where the air temp was like literally 20 something below. I don't remember it being like howling wind, but the air temp was that. And I mean, we were running, we were wrestling, just trying to stay warm. Like it was horrible. Who wants that?
Yeah. It was scary cold, and I'm glad it passed fast.
Yeah. I like to know how our friends in northern Canada deal with that stuff all the time. Like it's nothing.
They must be equipped for it, but I don't know how you can equip for that.
Yeah. Jenna, how you doing? Vicky, we got a bunch of people in already in that.
Well, I'm kind of on time. I'm sort of on time.
Rainbow, how you net from Quebec? There we go.
Quebec.
Warren says the balloon's from China. He's probably right. David Ben's coming in from Australia.
Yeah, it's the elephant.
Yeah.
The elephant in the room.
Tish, good evening from one of your most quiet lurkers. We love our lurkers.
The lurker came out. I wonder what tempted them.
Yeah, thanks for popping in, Tish. Good to see you. So, all right. Well, I went on for a little while last night and gathered a bunch of questions. I'm sure we're going to get hit up on a lot of State of the Union talk, too, so I can start with that. But anyway, Nat, so do you have anything you want to get off your chest off the top?
Can you tell it's a little different?
Yeah, the angle's different. Yeah,
I can't go sideways anymore.
This is a new Annette, folks. This is no longer profile.
From now on, it's straight on with an it.
Yeah.
Because my office, I don't know if I ever told you this. My office was broken up into 2 rooms for 2 massage therapists side by side. Mm. So there's a wall, and each room side by side is a rectangle, but it's a narrow rectangle. So it's really hard for me to get like the right angle.
Yeah.
I need better comfort. I don't have enough comfort.
So they don't do any nighttime massages in your office?
They used to.
Did they really?
Yeah, I moved in right after the 2 massage therapists moved out. I guess that was going on 4 years ago.
Mm.
And then this week, speaking of the cold, I'm not sure what happened, but there's a tattoo studio on my floor. And as I mentioned, they're never here. Nobody's ever here. And yesterday I was going out into the hallway and I saw this huge puddle, apparently, and the water was flowing like a waterfall from underneath the door.
Uh-oh.
Apparently the pipes must have broken.
Mm.
Or they left the sink on. I don't know, but it's really bad. And there's been that huge dehumidifier out there for a long time now.
There have been all kinds of water issues around here lately. See what happened with the movie theater?
No.
3 feet of water in there.
From the high tide?
The sprinkler system busted. No, they actually 2 weeks before they got beat up from that too. When we had the snow, then the rain, then the snow, that it flooded then as well.
Corey, it's just a matter of time.
All right. So we should get really long straws. So when we do our next show, we can just kind of breathe.
You might need to like have a scuba snorkel.
Yeah.
As the sea level rises. Sounds like a soap opera. As the sea level rises.
Well, if you grab the trunk and I grab his tail, we can take off with this elephant at any time.
We could.
If we have to float away.
I'd end up in China.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have a class coming up this weekend, or was that last weekend?
Gosh, I've got so much going on. I just came from doing a podcast.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I mean, it's not posted yet, but it's Spirit Talk Podcast. And I'm such a newbie at this. I don't even know where to tell you to look for it once it posts, but I think Spotify and Apple Play, and there's so many different platforms.
Yeah.
I'll link it up to my YouTube. But anyway, it's an interview. It's about an hour with my friend Sean Galloway, who's a singer-songwriter in Nashville. And we had a really good talk about the healing power of music. And it was so important and so insightful. And I could have talked to him for 10 hours. He's a friend of mine from way back. And
that's great.
Like my friend Austin, who's with me in New Hampshire, we all know each other. And it was great. And it's just really important that people understand that creating and doing something expressive is essential for our mental stability. When we suppress our emotions, we get into all kinds of trouble. That's too long of a topic for me to get into.
I think you should try speaking your mind more.
I was ranting the other night and somebody called me out on it and it just shut me right down. I was ranting about how much Joe Biden had accomplished before last night. This is Monday night.
Yeah.
I went on a total rant about how the news stations were just like, oh, nobody likes him. Are you kidding me? So yeah, I'll do my best not to rant, but no promises there. The moon today is in Virgo.
You know what that means?
I got it wrong on Monday.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means? It's test time.
I have no idea. No, that means it's Virgo. Things are going to be tense through this weekend, I would think.
No, not necessarily.
I have no idea.
Is the light bright? I feel like I'm a ghost.
No, I think it's good lighting.
Is it good? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm still working with it. Yeah. I never knew I was going to be a TV star. So it's in Virgo. Tomorrow, lots of stuff is going on. I have to look. Virgo is grounded. Virgo is attention to details. Virgo is organized. Virgo is a little bit too organized. What?
I was going to say tense. We're probably going to be tense this weekend.
I wouldn't say tense. I would say Virgo is very self-critical. Anyway, we were talking about that in my class last weekend. I had a pendulum class. This coming February 11th, everybody mark your calendar, go to psychicannetdion.com because it's called Let Yourself Love Yourself, based on the work of Louise Hay. It's an entire class on self-love, which has nothing to do with thinking you're better than other people or being arrogant or nothing. It's really quite the opposite. So there's that. And if you go to psychicannetdion.com, you'll see everything else that I'm up to. And I do have room this week. I always have room to take people for readings. So psychicannetdion.com.
There you have it. There's a lot going on over here too now. So we're actually, the good doctor and I are moving tomorrow.
Okay.
So it shouldn't affect our schedule next week. Hopefully my internet is a seamless transition. So we'll see how that goes. But finally, we get out of here. I believe construction starts Monday, or the deconstruction. They got to pull everything out of here. So we'll see.
You called it the demolition.
Yeah. Take it down to the studs.
Maybe you should be there watching.
We've been
Wrecking Ball.
Meredith will be here watching for sure.
Dynamite.
Yeah, I'll have my fire pit going. So anyway, so that's exciting. So that's a big turn to events. And of course, the idea is to try to,
Wait, You'll have your fire pit going, you said?
Oh, I get a big fire pit. I'm a pyromaniac.
So you're going to be there with a fire pit while they're demolishing your home?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm coming over. We should just do a show from the fire pit.
We could toast these, Annette.
I brought mine.
Yeah. Warren is in the chat, by the way, Annette. So be
Oh,
careful
no,
what you
okay.
say. Be real careful what you say.
Did he send you those?
No, Anna Lee did.
He thinks I have a problem with hoarding.
He's right.
No, that's not it at all. I know that you have your own slew of peeps to deal with.
Yeah.
Without,
Anna Lee's always sending peeps.
Also, I have chocolate for you.
Do you really?
Yes.
Wow.
Bond Blue. Remember Bond Blue?
Oh, I love Bond Blue. Yeah.
We love Bond Blue. She sent, and she made me promise to give you these. 3 for me.
Had a girl, Bond Blue.
I've already eaten 2 of them. They're sea salt dark. Do you like dark chocolate? I like dark chocolate.
I do.
They're truffles. So for Valentine's Day, you get your truffles.
That is so sweet. Thank you, Bond
She
Blue.
sent me a whole bunch of rocks. Check this out. It's a little baby crystal ball to go with my little baby selenite crystal ball.
That's nice.
And a crystal heart.
Oh.
Isn't that nice? And
Yeah,
a whole bunch of different stones. Like this sparkly stone. They're all in bags and they have names. So
cool.
That was wicked fun. Somebody sent me $150 for a reading, and I don't know who it is, or if there's anybody out there
What?
that is going to get a reading, and I told them to mail the money because they couldn't pay through PayPal. They left their phone number, but they didn't leave any information about when they're scheduled for.
So someone just mailed you cash and a phone number?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
For their session. I'm like, shoot. I don't know when it is.
You gonna call? Let's call him live on this show.
Should I?
Maybe. Caller right there. Caller number 6.
Number right here. And some people sign their name and you can't, it's like a doctor's signature. You can't decipher it.
What's the area code?
802. No, wait, it's not 802.
Oh, that's Vermont.
No, it's not 802. I was thinking it was Vermont. I have Vermont on my brain because I'm thinking that might be my next place that I go. I'm doing the Airbnb tour.
Yeah, nice.
But we're at a really nice cabin in Henniker, New Hampshire. It's really nice. 831.
831. Where's 831, folks? Warren Green says you can do a reverse telephone lookup. You got to pay for that, though, Warren.
I'll just call and say, what's your name and when's your session?
Who are you? This is the psychic.
And who are you? And thanks for the cash.
Yeah.
Because cash is king. I mean, I don't get much cash anymore.
Yeah, that's nice. So yeah, thanks for all that support, folks. And we got a lot of people in the room tonight too, which is great. I do want to point out, Annette, that Sharon Bottoms, our friend from Madison, Wisconsin, is in the chat tonight.
I'm thinking about her. I hope everything's okay.
I know.
Honestly, I'm so glad she's here.
Yeah, me too.
I have to switch mugs.
Okay.
It just occurred to me that we won't see people before Valentine's Day. I mean, we won't have a show because it's on Tuesday, right? The next
Christian is
time
saying, Annette, call me. It's my money.
Who is it?
Christian.
Oh, you can't do that.
He's a Jersey guy. Don't fall for those slick Jersey
You can't go
guys.
for that. You can't try that with the psychic.
No.
I'll be able to feel it if it's you.
Well, so I fielded some questions last night, Annette, and actually, Celtic Tarot Sheila popped in to say hi last night.
Oh, good. Tell her hi.
I said hi, and then she wants to do another show with us.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so I said, yeah, whenever. So we'll figure that out. And also, I don't know what the latest is with Andre the astrologer either, if you've talked to him.
I don't know. I email him and he doesn't email me back.
Andre?
Andre, email me back. Or if he shows up in the chat, we can get him to jump on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it that way. I'm thinking that maybe the next event, like the next full moon, Sheila can join us, when there's a lot of energy.
Okay. By the way, the 831 area code is around Monterey, California.
That doesn't help me.
Yep, me neither.
I do readings for a lot of people in California. It's a big state.
Yeah. Okay. What tarot deck will we be using tonight, Annette?
I don't know. You must be reading my mind. I was just wondering. I want to pull a rune.
Oh, ring the bell, Dion.
Here we go.
That started. Rhonda Rue has made a little donation to the channel. Thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you.
We appreciate it as always.
All that's going to our studio setup.
Yeah.
I think, right? That's what's happening.
Oh, yeah. Everything's in there.
And since you're going to be in a different location, I know it doesn't matter because we're on Zoom. Since I was at the studio today, we could, because I'm less scared about COVID, we could probably do it there sometimes. Do the live stream from side by side from Andrews.
Right, but it would be the daytime.
Because he doesn't work at night?
He's got his baby.
Oh, no, we might be able to bring the baby.
Annette.
He has other people working for him. It's not just him.
Yeah, so that's a possibility. Actually, Andrew and I had talked about us doing another show from the studio and either next week or the week after during the day for a bit to test things out again. If you want to do that. And
then we can schedule for a Wednesday evening.
Okay. We can figure something out.
And we'll send out for pizza. Hang on, I got my rune stones.
Okay. So my guess is, folks, that I do have construction going on, but I don't think it's going to affect our schedule next week. So I should be on 7 p.m. Eastern time next Tuesday to field questions for Annette. And then that show should start on time, 6:30 next week. So if next week doesn't work, Annette, for that, we can try maybe the week after, but we should be able to have a regular show this time next week. Okay.
Well, we always have a show. It's just
right. But I would probably, I think this style. Yeah.
No matter where we might show up from.
What are you digging through? This is your magic hat?
This is one of my viewers, Ethel, makes these bags.
I remember, yeah.
Remember? And she sent me 2 of them, and then I talked to her, and I thought she just bought them. She actually makes them. I said, girl, you gotta get your stuff on eBay. It's little crystals, and if she's in the chat, she should post her information.
Who is that?
Her name is Ethel.
I haven't seen Ethel in a while, not in the live.
And that's me, her last name. I'm pulling a rune rock, a rune stone.
Okay.
Whoa. One fell on the floor. That might have significance. Hang on. Let's see.
Good to see everybody. Hi, Laura, Phyllis, Blessed Child, Shockwave, Dorothy. How you doing, everybody? Good to see everyone. Barbara, Spiritual Seeker, Jonah Vart, as always. Yeah, Louise, good seeing all of you tonight. Welcome to another edition of the Psychic and the Sidekick. She is the psychic, Annette Dion. I'm the sidekick, Corey of Bridge Cape Ann. We're coming to you from Gloucester, Massachusetts, the little northeast corner of Massachusetts, where you might have watched Coda, last year's Oscar winner for Best Film, Wicked Tuna on Nat Geo, The Perfect Storm, Sebastian Junger's Beauty. That's here, The Gordon's Fisherman.
We're famous.
That's our town, folks. We're
famous.
And each week, Annette and I try to do this for you live. We do marathon sessions. So I hope you're in your pajamas and you have plenty of snacks.
Depends on where they live. Right?
This is true, yeah. Oh, by the way, Yoon joined last night, like 10 minutes into the show, early.
She has a very erratic schedule lately.
You know what she did, Annette? She stopped drinking her last cup of coffee at 10 p.m. She cut that out of her habit.
Oh, she has coffee at 10?
Yeah.
Some people can do that. I can't do that. I know people that get up in the middle of the night and they have a cup of coffee and go back to bed.
Yeah. Annette, ring the bell, please.
Oh gosh, I'm busy.
I know.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, okay. Catherine has donated to the channel. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Catherine.
As always, we love our Rhonda Ruse and Catherine Rodiers or Rodiers.
What does that mean?
That's her last name.
I thought you were throwing me a new word. I have this rune card pronounced Isa. This is Isa, which reminds me of Isha, which is Sadhguru's organization. There he is. He's always with us. Isa, ice, stillness, reflection, forced rest. We're actually still in hibernation mode in the Northern Hemisphere. Stalemate, pause. There's a time for everything, including stillness. Nature forces its icy grip upon your body and soul, but not without purpose. So it's basically saying it's important to get still. Rather than force the flow, because you can't force the flow, strive to suspend in frozen stasis, because we were just talking about the cold. It is here that your perspective can shift. Here, those patterns or attitudes etched into the ice can be witnessed and melted if you choose when the thaw comes. This is about the Hierophant and the Hermit. I work as a part of nature rather than apart from nature. There is no way forward but from the present moment. I sit patiently attuning myself to the silence and messages of the mysteries that can only be received right here, right now. That's great. We were talking about being in the moment and being still last week, remember?
You were.
I sang you my little song.
Yes, which was nice. Okay, a few notes here from live chat. Jamir Nicholas, Ethel Nicholas. I'm under Jamir Nicholas. Thanks, Annette, for the shout out. Hey, Corey, does that sound familiar to you? Like ZHYMEIR Nicholas, Ethel?
A shout out. Oh, I didn't know she went by that name.
I think that's what she says. I'm under that name. So if that is you, then thank you. Ring the bell again, Annette.
Ask her if she got her bags on eBay yet.
You ask her.
Did you get your bags on eBay yet? I can't. I'm talking to thin air.
Well, yeah, but she's part of that thin air.
You need me to ring the bell again? Is that trying to keep up?
I know. There's a lot.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you. It's Marby Gongora. Thank you, Marby. Marby's always with us and helping out.
We're gonna have a really well outfitted studio.
Man, we've been doing small talk for almost half an hour already. Look at us. Got a lot going on here.
Is that something new?
I know. Well, hey, look, we already got the moon phase out of the way. We know you did. We did our rune. You did your card.
That's true. Yeah. There was actually some like relevant info in that half an hour. It's sometimes I tell people skip the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, this is true. So
we're not opening boxes.
Wait, have we figured out our deck yet, or that just kind of comes to you when we get into the questions?
I think we'll use the Hanson Roberts to start with, and then I'll just change it up. It's kind of small. Kind of a small deck. Maybe we'll go with the Llewellyn after that.
Okay. Let's do this. Switch things up here. All right. So thanks, folks, for tuning in tonight. We are ready to roll. We start with the community card, or was that other card kind of what you were doing?
Oh, well, no, let's do a community card. So the rune card was about, it was Esau, and it's about the importance of being still. There's so many things in motion right now that it's really helpful to be still. Maybe that seems like a contradiction, but when we're still, we can process things. We can't process. It's kind of like, that old wives' tale that if you go swimming right after you eat, you're going to sink and drown. You have to have time for things to kind of process and digest. I was just talking about that with my friend on my podcast. Like, we have to sit with things and let things process through us. I'm just putting on my do not disturb so people aren't distracting me. Not like I have all these friends or anything. Question? Comment?
All right. Well, I guess a lot of people are asking about your thoughts on the State of the Union last night. If you need something specific, I can throw that at you, but they really just kind of want your thoughts on that to start.
I'll be going over that on Friday. At Psychic and Etienne on YouTube. I just want to say, I'm going to pat me on the back and many people that I've been gathering with in virtual groups for an entire year. On Tuesday nights, we do a guided meditation where we visualize a healed America. And it comes in many different versions, but I just guide people through a 20-minute meditation. And we really put it out there last night at 7 Eastern time. We finished that up at 7:30. And I'm telling you what, it far surpassed what I thought was possible. But I had gone on a rant on Monday night about how much Joe Biden has accomplished, and the news just keeps talking about he's old and he shouldn't run. It's like, it was really making me very furious. What we saw of the State of the Union address was a defining moment in American history. I'm curious about what the right-wing extremist media is saying about it, because I don't know how anybody, unless they're out and out lying, which is, you know, that's what they do. I don't see how anybody could look at what Joe Biden was saying last night. I just saw a graph of how many jobs he's created compared to other presidents. It's like 80% more than any president since Reagan. And I should have taken a screenshot. Joe Biden needed to talk about what seeds they planted for this country. We have the potential to either soar like an eagle or crash like a Chinese satellite balloon over the Atlantic. I'm not going to keep going until Corey lets me know that I'm not invisible.
You're not. We've got 300 plus people in there right now.
I know, but I'm talking to the freaking wall.
Annette, you're talking to hundreds of people right now.
No, I'm not. I can't
Yes,
see
you
them.
are.
I can't see them.
We could try to set that up sometime. We can just a giant Zoom with hundreds of people.
Well, put eyes on top of your head. Just take a photograph of your face, cut out the eyes, and put them right here.
These are there are people's names.
Right.
People are donating to the channel right now, and I'm trying to get their names down so I don't lose them in the chat.
We need an assistant.
We do. We might. Jilly Beans might be our assistant. She was on last night, but
we do. We need an assistant who can take notes and hand you a note.
This is the whole point when we end up with a new studio, is we have a crew in place to help us out.
We're moving up.
Yeah. No, but anyway, so yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, we do have to ring the bell a couple times.
Now I totally don't know what I was talking about.
I know. But anyway, we want to thank Elaine S. for donating to the channel. And then Eileen Roboshot also just donated to the channel too. So thank you, ladies.
With the assistant can borrow my bells.
Yeah, we need to find bells that register.
This doesn't. How about this one?
That you can start to hear it, then it cuts out. So it's weird.
Wow, I can use a drum. I can move over and play my keyboard. I got a brand new keyboard.
You should probably just sing something at this point.
Sing a song.
Yeah.
Sing out loud. I had my people in the chat was singing that the other night. We were bringing up the energy. I was talking about the State of the Union. I just didn't know what I was specifically talking about. So Joe Biden, this is a difference between an America where we soar like an eagle or crash like a Chinese satellite spy balloon. I mean, is it right on cue? We can be the lighthouse.
Yeah. What is Mandarin for Dumbo?
I don't know.
Warren, look that up.
I'm having a hard enough time with French right now.
Yeah.
So the choice is ours. And just based on the law of contrast, which is a kind of a law of attraction idea, is when we've talked about this before, I have, when we have had a really clear view and experience of something that is definitely what we do not want, then that gives us a necessary energy and momentum, the buildup of energy to catapult us and launch us into a brand new reality. It's like a quantum leap. This is an opportunity for a quantum leap. There's no better, more potent time to jump on board with saving our democracy from the fascists, no better time but now. As I plug for grassrootsofdemocracy.com, which is now a website, come to our meetings. There's no reason why not to. And plus, if it doesn't fit your schedule, we send you notes too, and little tasks that we're doing. So Joe Biden's speech, it couldn't have been better. It was just, I know it was long, but it gave us lots to go back to and re-listen to. It gave us a lot of hope, and we needed hope. And he ended strong. And I want to say, and he said the State of the Union is strong, and I wholeheartedly believe that. We can't spend too much time worrying about the yahoos that are crazy people. I didn't watch Sarah Huckabee Sanders afterwards because I didn't want to. And I, of course, because I follow the news all day, I caught one little tiny clip, and it was, talk about projection. I mean, she just was talking about all the horrible things that the fascists posing as Republicans are doing. And as if the Democrats were doing those things. By the way, another thing that happened last night was that Mitt Romney showed us how it's done. Because Mitt Romney saw what this dude that's calling himself George Santos, well, we call him Pinocchio. He saw what he was doing, and he went straight up to him and said, you shouldn't be here. I don't know exactly what he said, but you don't belong here. And he basically put him in his place. And I cannot believe how many people don't take the opportunity to do what needs to be done. But Mitt Romney took matters into his own hands. And I could just see it because George Santos he positioned himself on the aisle, and, just so he could be like highlighting and showcasing himself, wanting to shake hands with all the dignitaries and the president as they walk by. But I think Mitt Romney put a stop to it. And I'm not sure what actually happened after that. I caught it when it happened, and I was like, whoa, the energy there is like they're gonna, like, Santos is gonna deck him or something. I could really feel the tension. So we need more of that. And there are some old school Republicans that we can consider Democrats at this stage of the game. The old school Republicans we can actually consider as more like Democrats. And I know you might have questions about what Kirsten Sinema was wearing. So we'll probably get to that. Do you have a question about that?
Actually, no, like the first question we had was from Canetto33, who asked, how was Sarah Huckabee's rebuttal speech received by Republicans, Democrats, Independents?
With a big yawn.
Mm.
Oh, you want me to go through all three?
Well, she had all three, but we can, an overview is fine. We don't have to.
That's kind of like it doesn't take a psychic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How you think they responded is how they responded. It was a game changer. Democrats are extremely happy. I was extremely happy. I was remembering that we were dancing in the streets when Biden got elected. November 8th, 2020. We were dancing in the streets. So all those people that were so happy that Joe Biden won when he was elected, despite all the craziness that happened, were very, very, very happy. And you can feel it. Everybody can feel it, whether you're aware of it or not. When the collective energy is excited about something, you can feel it. So the people that are logical, sensible people were very much uplifted. So I'm not even going to break it down into Democrats or Republicans. The Republican Party is not what it used to be. They are fascists, 147 of them, election deniers and fascists, and they exhibit fascist tendencies. So most people were very happy with the speech. This is the first time in our lives, depending on how old you are, this is the first time in our lives that we actually have the potential to see everybody get a fair shot. When somebody stands up and gives a speech like that, and they are authentic as authentic can be, they have lived what they're speaking. I don't care who you are. You don't miss that. Unless you're intentionally tuning it out. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to listen. That authenticity that was on display with Joe Biden last night couldn't have been any more clear. He's a man who has gone through really the deepest losses you can imagine in his life. And he's a man with 50 years of experience in government. And we would be up, you know what creek, if anybody but Joe Biden was president right now. And I mean that from the bottom of my soul. We are so fortunate in so many ways that we are not all dead. Not even, I mean, I know that sounds extreme, but I mean it. We're so fortunate in so many ways that he's in the position that he's in. He deserves a ton of credit. Every American with these plans going through and what he's gotten to now, if nothing else goes through, what he's gotten done till now will make a difference. And we're going to make sure that we all jump on board and help with getting everything else done, like women's rights, for God's sake, and like a right to read a book. All right, I'm just getting warmed up.
Yep, you are. A couple of things. So Amy Andrews points out that Dumbo in Mandarin is Bu Kong Ming. So thanks for that, Amy. That's fun.
He speaks Mandarin, or she looked it up?
So she looked it up. That's good. How about this question? So I gotta say one thing. I can't stand how State of the Union is abbreviated SOTU, because it reminds me of just STFU every time I look at it.
STFU? You mean S? What does that stand for?
So State of the Union, SOTU. But I always see that and I read STFU.
But what's the ST mean?
Shut the.
Oh.
Haven't you ever seen that? That's like a.
No, I haven't. I'm not.
That's like LOL or anything else. That's been out there for years.
Yeah, well, I know WTF.
Yeah. So STFU.
I know FUBAR. Wait.
No, FUMAR.
For FUM. Wait. No, wait.
It's FUBAR. It's FUBAR.
No, it's FUB.
Yeah.
AR?
Yeah.
Yeah, FUBAR. I learned that from Steven Tyler.
Lift up beyond all reason. Yeah.
Did you learn that from Steven Tyler?
I learned that from no, probably a military movie.
Oh, because it was
fucked up beyond all recognition. Yeah.
Back when all the rock bands were drinking and drugging, like, because that's just what they thought they were supposed to do.
I think Vonnegut had that in one of his books too. I don't think it was Slaughterhouse-Five, but one of them I thought he had FUBAR in there, but I could be wrong. So anyway.
Yeah. State of the Union. So too. We like to shorten things.
I don't like it.
Not always good.
Yeah. Cheryl Clark says, hello, cousin Annette.
She always calls me cousin. I don't know why she calls me cousin.
We all call each other cousin here on the island.
Oh, that might be why. Hello.
Yes, FUMAR is smoking. FUBAR is something totally different. Okay, next question.
What FUMAR mean?
FUMAR is smoking in Spanish, isn't it?
Oh, it's an actual word. Okay.
Yeah,
not an acronym.
Right. Annette, will Biden's spirited SOTU speech change minds about his age issue?
Absolutely. 100%. I do not know why we are such ageists. It's out of control. I saw a picture of a woman. I think she's Ukrainian. 102 years old, making something for the. I just saw it like in passing, but anyway, she was like 102 years old, just bright and energetic, and making shirts or something for people that needed them, and everybody get over it, get off of it. I mean, he knows what he's doing. Is that not enough? Why is it really? And we got to talk to people about this, that rather than look at what a phenomenal, historic, he's like FDR, job he's doing, why are we not looking at that instead? I don't understand. What's what's her name? Dianne Feinstein is she in her 90s?
Is she in her 90s at this point? I think we went over this last week.
We did. I always forget.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that some people get old and lose it, but you can tell, right? Joe Biden has a stutter. He has a little bit of a slur and a little bit of a stutter, but he's always had a stutter. I don't know about the little bit of slurring, but he's doing a phenomenal job. And I don't know, I know people like that are way younger than that couldn't keep up with him. No, people won't stop talking about it because people are obsessed with, finding fault. And everybody out there that's listening, stop it. Stop being obsessed with finding fault. It's funny because it reminds me of Dr. Wayne Dyer. He would say, one of his talks, he said it again and again. Most people go around in life looking for reasons to be offended. We need to reel that in. It's a cultural thing. It's something we're programmed to do and trained to do. But it just, why are people offended by, maybe that's the wrong word, but why are people so concerned about a number? I think Joe Biden, if he was able to keep it a secret, he would probably. With age comes wisdom. Right? Is it me? I mean, I can't tell if people agree with me, so.
Yeah, most people agree with you.
But I have to just add to that. I consider it a great, and I really mean this, a great tragedy. How many people I do readings for that do this? They, honest to God. Oh, well, it's kind of late in the game for that, right? They're perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with them. Perfectly competent and capable, but they just decided because of a number, they're just going to not even try anymore. Get over it. It's just a number. And if you take care of yourself, you're fine.
It's not how old you are, it's how you are old.
Yeah, my sister sent me that for my last birthday.
And it stung, didn't it?
No, the quote was fine, but the picture was like these little church ladies in their little dresses and their hats on a stage, and I gave her a hard time about that. She's like, well, it was really for the quote by Abe Lincoln, I think it was.
All right, Dion, ready for another one?
Yep.
Here's one from Pixie Dust. Pixie's always with us.
Yep.
Annette, what is the best way to break a soul contract? Is it forgiveness? Is it cutting cords?
I release this person through all levels and all lifetimes. The karma has ended. I release them to their highest good. I release this person or this situation or both through all levels and all lifetimes. The karma stops here for the highest good of all. Amen. That'll suffice, I think.
You got it.
Don't get too complicated about it. It's really a matter of you just make up your mind. You just make up your mind. I'm done. This is over. I'm done. If somebody just is continuing to be a pain in the you-know-what and not adding anything healthy to your life, what is the point of keeping them in your life? What is the point of keeping on hammering away at it? What's Maya Angelou said? When people show you who they are, believe them. Don't keep trying, don't keep expecting it to be different if they've already shown you time and again how they are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 1,500 times.
I thought you were going to screw it up like George W. did.
Oh, no. What was that? Quayle had a couple of beauties, right?
So did Biden.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but he was like, a waste is a terrible thing to mind when you 2 in the hand and 3 in the bush. And like,
remember, they always gaff, right?
Yeah. All right. But by the way, that actually rolls into our next question from blessed or blessed 1111. Annette, what is karma and how do you break bad karma?
Sadhguru has a book and it's called Karma. It doesn't have to do with good or bad. And I hesitate because I actually haven't read the whole book. I hesitate to answer that, except to say that I know the Sadhguru says it's not penance. People think of karma as, you know, well, you did this, so this is going to happen. But it's consequential. Well, you were good, so now you have a good life. Well, you were bad, so you're going to have a bad life. That's not true. I mean, it's not, there's no basis for that. That's kind of made up. Karma has to do with the energy that we bring into each lifetime. So read me the question again. I'll do what I can.
What is karma? And then how do you break bad karma?
All right. Just talk to the people. I'll be right back.
Now,
it's in the other room.
Now you're going to talk to people? All right,
yeah, just tell them a joke and I'll be right back.
All right. Folks, you're watching the Psychic and the Sidekick. She was the Psychic, Annette Dion. She'll be back. She's going to hit her little library she has in the office, apparently. We do this for you every Wednesday night, 6:30 Eastern time. We take your questions. I actually went on live last night for about an hour or so and grabbed a ton of questions. So there is that. If you're new, hi, welcome. Hope you like what you see and hear here. We have our three wrenches, Annalie Finch, Christian Montone, Thankful Mom, monitoring the live chat. Folks, we do let all viewpoints can come through in that live chat too. Just a quick reminder, all viewpoints. We're talking politics. We got to let it all fly. Them's the rules. So there's that for you. So we're going to go through the questions I have here in my paper, but we'll also be taking questions in real time too. And if you're very, very new to the channel, and then I do a lot of bantering, and we open the show with lots of small talk and getting caught up, and she has classes going on all the time, the different things with her website. I've got a bunch of stuff happening as well. So there is that. Now, if you missed from the top of the show, I have my latest interview with my Ukrainian friend, Svetlana Rozgon. She runs a bridal shop in Salem, Massachusetts. I'm sure you've heard of Salem. And she gave us updates on the latest efforts for her friends and family in Ukraine. Actually, most of her family got out of Ukraine, is now living with her. So that was cool to hear. So check that out. And then my latest history documentary on Howard Blackburn, Gloucester's most legendary fisherman. Part 3 is up. I think it's part 3 of a 5-part series, but the first 3 are up there for you now. That posted yesterday morning. So a bunch of people saw that. So thanks for those compliments there. And now here is Annette to read us all a bedtime story.
I love to read to people. I like to be read to also. I had to find the right bookcase. Karma. I recommend this book. I told you about this book. It's endorsed by Will Smith, Tom Brady, Tony Robbins, Deepak Chopra, Princess Noor of Bint Assam of Jordan, Rosanna Arquette. What is karma? Most people understand karma as a balance sheet of good and bad deeds, virtues and sins, a mechanism that decrees that we cannot evade the consequences of our own actions. In reality, karma has nothing to do with reward and punishment. Karma simply means action, your responsibility. So that's what I was saying. It's about your actions, you know, create a reaction. It's not about good or bad and consequences. This is an excellent book. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but I'm halfway through it. I have a lot of books to read. But it was a bestseller. I mean, it came out a couple of years ago. He has a lot of books now. When I first met him, he had no books.
Does he just go by the one name in that all the time?
He went by Jaggy.
What?
His name is Jaggy, Jaggi. So we called him Jaggy. And then one day all of a sudden it was like, he wants us to call him Sadhguru. And I was like, really? I like Jaggy. But he wasn't having it. And we had to call him Sadhguru.
We can call you Jaggy. If you like it so much.
Like, I don't know.
How about people want us to name the elephant? Do we name the elephant Jaggy?
We could name the elephant Jaggy. Yeah, I mean, he looks like an Indian elephant. Those are the Indian colors, right?
Get out of that way. Jaggy!
It's a good name for an elephant. I like it.
Go. Jaggy the elephant, folks.
Anyway, I really recommend the book. I think it's called A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Destiny. It has to do with creating your own destiny. You know, that's what we're here for.
We have a ton of people asking about MTG. Do you want to comment on her?
But first, can you change my last name from iPad to Dion?
Oh yeah, let me do that for you.
You got to do that in Zoom, right?
Yeah. I got to show you how to do this in that. This is so easy.
And Zoom, I know, but on an iPad, it might be different.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not a very specific question.
How about this one? Does MTG feel remorseful for acting like a jerk last night at Biden's speech?
Did you just specify it like that? Was that you that added that little embellishment?
Psychic.
Very good. Nice. Nicely done.
Yeah. I've been doing that every week.
I know, because I'm like, come on, be more specific. So what's going on is she's starting to feel uncomfortable. I already had foreseen that on its way when I talked about this the other night on my live stream. She said something really stupid at this stupid COVID, what happened during COVID hearing that they kind of threw together. And she just wasn't making any sense in her questioning. And she ended up looking like a total idiot. Like she always looks like an idiot. She has no shame. And then the next day, like I hadn't even seen the clip or knew what she said. And when I saw it, I was like, that's what I was feeling. Because I was feeling like she was not at ease with something that was going on. I felt like she felt kind of a little bit embarrassed at showing up as being so, not just stupid, but she's exhibiting abject stupidity. Like somebody, like a 10-year-old is smarter than Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's God's honest truth. It just is, that's true. There are children that are way smarter than Marjorie Taylor Greene in elementary school. Last night, what she's doing, and this is my psychic impression when I tune into her playbook is just keep yelling, like Jim Jordan is the same way. Just keep yelling, just keep yelling. There's a measure of decorum that's supposed to be held at a State of the Union address, or just if you're a public figure, if you're holding public office. They decided to just go, she just decided to go by her playbook of, I don't know what the hell she was wearing, but standing out, and she was just hell-bent on her playbook. Scream out liar, be disruptive, say ridiculous things as loud as you can, get the cameras to pan to you, and that's all she wants is this attention. I feel like she went running to Steve Bannon for some reason. Remorse, narcissists that are that heinous, that are that at that level of narcissism and stupidity, that are at that level, they don't have remorse. Their brains aren't wired to have remorse. So she's not regretful. And I've said this about several public figures that are playing the role of fascists, that they look at it and they go, too bad I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't get away with stealing that or do it's more like they don't feel bad for what they did. They just feel bad that it didn't work.
You know what it reminds me of, Annette? Whenever I hear her talk, because she's such a friggin' joke. It's like when a comic bombs, but in an offensive way, and then tries to get out of it by trying to build on the punchline, and it's just the deeper hole, like the point of no return. Yeah, it's like that every time, and then you only have friends and family, the diehard supporters who will back her up. Like, no, the world is wrong. You're right. It's just every time I get that vibe, I was like, this someone who was way out of her league.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone can look at her as any sort of authority figure. She's a legit dope, like an unintelligent person. But it just goes to show you, how far can you get by with just a little bit of charm or whatever the hell it is? You can get pretty far. If your ambition can get you really far, it's a scary thing.
Well, the comic, the stand-up analogy is accurate, except that it's a lot darker than that.
Well, and she thinks she's funny to begin with. That's the problem too.
I don't think she thinks she's funny.
No. I mean, that was the corollary.
Oh, yeah,
basically, she thinks she's an authority. She thinks she's like sort of all-knowing. She thinks she has, she thinks she knows her stuff, and she just doesn't.
Yeah, and
it's obvious.
I know, like I've been describing it like, you're in a room full of MIT professors that are having a discussion about physics, and you're a layperson walking in off the street pretending you're an MIT professor just discussing physics.
Yeah, you're shaking an etch a sketch at it, like, no. 2 + 2 is 5.
Yeah, and they're just looking at you
5.
like, who invited you? Or like when Ivanka was at the G7 summit, or there was some kind of, international in Europe gathering of, foreign dignitaries. And Ivanka is like standing there, and she decides to join the group and to start saying something. And they all looked at her like, who the hell are you? You can't keep up with the conversation, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene's days are numbered. Don't be fooled. And Lauren Boebert recently was on a church stage calling for Biden's execution. Jeez. Using an excerpt from the Bible, just an excerpt. Did you hear the bottle drop? Using an
No, I didn't know. I didn't know that fact that you just said. Yeah.
There's a clip on it. And everybody join Midas Touch. These guys are awesome, and they had an awesome post State of the Union last night. I couldn't stop listening. It was really, really good.
Actually, they do a lot of tweeting too. That's where I noticed them.
Yeah, they're getting really famous. The mainstream is starting to notice them much more.
There's some big names follow them. Yeah.
They had a great show last night, post show. So check it out. But that's where I saw the clip of Lauren Boebert, and she took an excerpt from the Bible. I don't know the Bible well enough to tell you what it's. I think it's in the Old Testament. The Old Testament's kind of violent, to say the least. And she took an excerpt that was like, may the wife be a widow and the children be fatherless, referring to Joe Biden on the stage of a church. I'm about ready to call the FBI. You know what I'm saying? Or the DOJ at least.
Annette, Jaggy, ring the bell.
Jaggy, ring the bell? You said you can't hear it.
A little bit. All the way from Singapore, Annette.
Oh, well, I have a different bell for that.
Ewan is early again. I'm telling you right now. Oh.
Can you hear that one?
A little bit.
Jeez, really? Damn.
Our bells are having a tough night.
Yeah, we're not having a good bell night. I have one other one.
Good morning, Yoon.
That's 4 bells.
That's better. At least we got all the shakes out of that one.
3 bells.
Yeah. So, yeah, Yoon, I'm guessing she did not have her 10 p.m. coffee last night. She's with us already. It's just 7:30 a.m. in Singapore.
I picked up this book. This is the first book. I picked up this one because I couldn't find the Karma one for a minute. This is Sadhguru's first book, and I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in it. It's a Q&A, and see, he wrote, "May you know bliss, love, and blessings, Jaggy." See?
Oh, maybe he sent the $150 to you.
No, he thought I shouldn't predict the future. I'm spoiled rotten. I really am. Anyway.
Ready for another question?
I'm ready.
All right. We've almost answered 3 questions on the first
hour. Floating elephant is just really throwing me.
It's a good one. It's a good one tonight. All right. This question comes from PC. PC is always with us. Annette, how can we tell what skill level a psychic medium has?
Oh, is there a measuring scale?
Well, right. So that's tough. But now, as a psychic, and now, do you know when because you consult with other psychics, you're friends with other psychics, you've gotten readings from other people before. Do you know when someone is not?
I don't really. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't though. I don't go to psychic.
But you have in the past, right?
Gosh, I could count how many psychic readings I've paid for in one hand, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm not being like arrogant. I'm just
No,
saying
no.
I don't really have a reason to consult with a psychic.
Well, let's see. Like you collaborate with like Sheila. You know Sheila's got the goods, right?
Yeah, but it's not like we know each other.
Right. But I mean, do you ever see someone or been around you like this person does not have the goods?
Yeah.
So how can you tell? Is it just like this person is not locked into her guys?
Well, there are some charlatans out there. I mean, in any field there are. I literally was listening to a YouTube this past week, and I was like, this person had hundreds of thousands of followers, and I'm not going to give you any details except to say that after about 10, 12 minutes of listening, I was like, this person is not talking about anything. It was so vague, and I was, you know how you try to hone in on, there's a theme here, there's a storyline, this, and it was just all like, whoa, airy fairy, and you might feel like this, and you might feel like that, and then the energy shift could make you feel like this, and then it could make you feel like that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I have over 7,000 subscribers. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I couldn't do that. I couldn't just fake it.
Well, I to get technical for 1 second, I think if you had started your YouTube channel 5 years ago, when it was easier to get a ton of subscribers quicker, like when the algorithm looked at it, it's the same with all the other platforms.
That's probably got a lot to do with it. So just because someone's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, that's not a measurement of how well versed they are in their field, in any field.
Well, there's a lot of hollow follows. That's never a true indicator. You don't necessarily want. To me, a hollow follow is, it says you have 100,000 subscribers. You post a video, whatever, and you get 840 views. Well, where are the 99,000? Like, they're not seeing it. There could be some fake accounts in there. Could be the algorithm working against them. I think it's the same for all the platforms.
I know you could cheat.
Oh, you can buy followers. You can buy them.
Are you kidding me?
Instagram is known for that. Twitter. You look at Twitter, every other writer in the world has at least 250,000 followers. They don't have 250,000 followers. Then they post something and 33 people like it. You're posting, you buy the number. So it looks like.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's the thing. That would probably really help me, but I could never do that.
I don't. Why would I do that? It hurts me to say I have 20,000 followers, and then a client of mine notices, well, I get 40 likes when I post something with 20,000 followers. What's going on? You're lying. So that doesn't help me. I'd rather have 40 followers, and when I post something, 40 people see it.
I'm only on YouTube, so I don't know about the other platforms. Can you do that? You can do that on YouTube, apparently. Yeah, weird. But anyway, back to this question about psychics. Did I answer it?
Yeah, how do you know if someone's full of crap or not?
In my snobby way, did I answer it? I'm such a snob.
You looked right down your nose when you said it, too. I love that. It's a great touch.
I kind of went.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You could have said it in the Queen's English, too.
Here's the thing, though.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. I also don't know. Like, let's just talk about Pinocchio, George Santos, for a while, because that's not his name. The way that he can lie, just shamelessly, some people can do that. Mm-hmm. Can you do that? No, I could see it a mile away. If Corey did, no way. No, put up a poll.
I can lie.
You think Corey's a good liar? Can Corey lie? I can't. I cannot lie.
I'm a great liar. Is Corey a good liar?
I don't even attempt it because I'm so bad at it.
All right, we're out. By the way, old guy says he has 9 billion followers. They just don't know. He just hasn't met them yet. So.
There are no strangers, only friends you have not yet met.
Craig Hunt then answered, I'm more popular than old guy. I have 100 billion followers. So congrats, Craig. Craig, get some of them onto this channel.
They're from other planets too.
Yeah.
Because we only have 8 billion to work with.
Are you ready for a question?
I think so.
All right. Here we go. This is from Sean 12. Sean is with us tonight, by the way.
Are you doing a poll?
It's up there running, yeah.
How about a poll about do they like the elephant?
Well, right now it's there. It's whether I'm a good liar or not.
Okay, next one is the elephant driving you crazy.
As a driver, people love that elephant.
Because you're like, okay, how many seconds before he comes back around?
I know, I think it's like 25 or so, then he loops. But he gets around, this guy.
He does get around.
What was his name? Bom Chongming or something?
That was Jaggy.
Jaggy, right. Annette, what advice would you give a child if they told you they have similar abilities, psychic abilities, I'm guessing, to you? A child says.
Did I tell you the story of I think I did. It was in October when I was walking through the old cemetery in Rockport.
Yeah.
Did I tell you the story? I think I did.
I knew when you lived in the house over there, and that scared the crap out of you, right?
Well, this is a different story. It's like it was in October that I was just because I still live in the same neighborhood. So I decided to cut through the old cemetery that I talked about last week. You know, the one with the little children buried in it, and from somewhere like 1720s.
Why are you laughing as you tell this?
Because
it's awful so far.
Because I was walking through a cemetery. What the hell am I doing? And so I came across this group of girls, and they were on their little tricycle, and and they came right up to me and like, there's a ghost on top, standing on top of that tombstone, and he's going like this, and he has dirty teeth. Did I tell you that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did.
And so how I responded to that was I took them totally seriously. And I said, which one? And they were like, oh, come over here. It's this one. And they were telling me about it. And I was discussing it with them as if we were talking about a little doggy walking down the street. That's how you deal with children that have abilities. You don't tell them, oh, that's just your imagination. You acknowledge that we are living simultaneously with another dimension, that we just simply don't see it because it's at a different vibrational frequency. We are all surrounded by energy beings that we can't see with our eyes, but kids often can because they haven't developed their logic to a great degree. So that's how I would treat people, children that were exhibiting those abilities. I would just talk to them like, and let me tell you what I saw.
Oh, imaginary elephant friend, Jaggy. Okay. Yeah,
that's different.
Yeah. Oh.
I would say, honey, that's totally fake. That's just Corey messing with you.
Well, have you ever come across a child that's incredibly perceptive, almost like adult-like?
Yeah, I have always, I don't have kids, but I've taught kids for many years, taught piano lessons. I get a really good rapport with kids because I treat them like they're grown-ups. I've never talked down to a child. I was talking down when I was talking about to the fake psychics, but
you've never talked up to an adult either.
What does that mean?
I don't even know. I don't know.
I respect everything you're saying. No, you're right. I haven't.
Yeah, I'm teasing.
But that's how you get a rapport with kids. That's how you get them to respect you too. Don't talk to kids like they're below you. It's really a bad idea because most of them are smarter than you anyway. If they don't have their heads in a computer all the time or an iPhone.
Oh boy.
Especially.
Here we go.
Steve Jobs and Bill Gates wouldn't let their kids use technology till they were grown up.
I did not know that.
Till they were old enough. Yeah. Why do you think that might have been?
Well, they were lunatics.
Corey, you missed the point entirely.
I know what the point is, but yeah, when you just do that, ride that one pony.
Well,
And they also know that it's
Apple
detrimental.
and Microsoft, they
In excess
invented.
is detrimental. But they knew creating that stuff that would be detrimental.
They knew that it wasn't good for the developing brain to hand them a computer. Well, that time there were these big things, but they knew that it wasn't a good idea to have their heads stuck in technology at that age continuously. You probably have a million more questions. We're barely getting to them.
Yeah, I figure 3 an hour is good for us. How about this one? Gene Nizolowski. If you hear knocking when you're home or in bed, does that mean that's from a spirit?
Don't answer it.
Don't answer.
It depends. I mean, bad spirits can knock. Just tell them to go away.
You can talk to him, you know.
Was she hearing knocks? Is that what's going on?
I don't know if she was specifically or just asking to ask.
Because it can be poltergeist.
Ooh.
Yeah, so tell them to go. Just say
STFU.
how many you're a foobar, go away. I can't believe how many people get all upset and that they have a ghost, and when I ask them if they asked the ghost to leave, they never thought of it.
Right? Too freaked out, right? Too freaked out to respond properly.
They just don't think of it. I'm not sure why. I guess.
Let yourself out, please.
Wouldn't don't let the door hit you in the butt.
Yeah.
On the way out. Have you ever
had... she has heard knocking. She has, but not recently, but she has.
Are you sure it's knocking? Because there's a whole lot of things in the house that can sound like knocking. Like big clunky heaters in the basement, for instance.
There's that. Or when what happened the other night when the temperatures got so cold, all the boards on the deck popped.
Yeah, I noticed there's a lot of noises in the old on the old floors. Like tree limbs tapping at the window. There's so many things that could make a sound that sounds like knocking.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be too worried about it.
A home invader could be anything.
And the ghosts don't eat much, so you're good.
And that 64 Tamara asks, will the book bans in Florida spread to other states?
That is so on my mind.
Here we go. I'm gonna have a peep while you answer this, I think.
I know. I
feel a peep coming on.
I might need a peep too. Well, this is insanity. I think Joe Biden's speech last night really got people on board with what sanity looks like. I don't see Ron DeSantis's popularity going any higher than it is right now. He surrounds himself with fascist type people. When he gets out of his little bubble, people don't like him. He's not even likable. What he's doing, I heard a heartbreaking interview on Ari Melber the other night. This teacher who was teaching in a district of low income, mostly minority kids, where all the books have been stripped from the school. Can you imagine this?
I can imagine that. Exactly the scenario set up, I can imagine that.
I know that he's doing heinous things and I believe it, but I can't imagine it. I can't imagine going to school and wanting books and having no books. And I'll talk to you when you're looking at me.
I have to, Annette.
I know, but I don't want to talk while you're not looking at all. We're going to give you some eyes.
That's why we're doing 3 questions an hour.
It's like having a conversation with somebody. Do you ever have a conversation with somebody who was like, yeah, okay.
You told me to do that.
What, to just turn?
Yeah.
Very good. So can you imagine going to school and not having any books? Now you can answer the question.
Oh, that was right. No. Folks, can you out there? 500 people in the chat.
So, because I'm telling this really sad, moving story, and it's like falling flat.
No, it's not.
I want to see a tear.
I can't. I'm a bad liar. 78% actually agree that Corey is a bad liar.
Yeah.
In that poll, we'll get on to our next one.
It's not higher. So this teacher was talking to Ari Melber about these kids every single day coming to school and saying, I don't know what her name was, maybe Mrs. Smith. Did the books come in yet? Are we going to have the books tomorrow? Do you think we'll have books tomorrow? Hey, did the books come in yet? I mean, good Lord. You know, you can get one of those things with a face that's looking at me while you're looking at the chat. So maybe
it's not just that. I have a bunch of questions over here.
Maybe the elephant will turn and pay attention to me. We got to fix this.
We got to start doing side-by-sides again.
We got to fix this. Next question.
You're just being bratty. Well, you have a peep. Warren said he sent 72 to you.
Yeah, I have a package. They're in the other room. Warren will be happy to know. I brought some over to my folks. I mean, I always make soup and I give them soup, and I threw in the Peeps, and that was kind of a surprise. And so last night I went over to watch the State of the Union, and they're like, those Peeps were really delicious. Like, I'm so glad you like them because I've got 74 of them.
Good. Ready for a question?
Wait, but I didn't answer that. I didn't finish that. You know, I did finish. I think DeSantis, I think it's over. I think this is his last big splash is, you know, it's going to start waning. Let me ask the pendulum. I think he's going to have so many legal matters, much like Trump, that he won't be able to swim his way out of them. It's just going to sink him. I really am getting that strongly. There's going to be too many legal challenges. Just like Trump, he's not going to campaign for president. He's got too many hearings, too many indictments coming, too many subpoenas coming, too much. There's only so many hours in a day, you know? Some of them you have to sleep. And you know what? There's a lot to be said for visualizing a band of white light mummifying Ron DeSantis. It's called binding. It's a binding spell we do with our minds. This channel is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not promoting that you do voodoo. But it's for the highest good of all, because he needs to go. And I'm telling you what, we did a meditation last night, and it was powerful, and it was before the State of the Union, and it turned out way miraculously better than I thought it would. We did that. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We helped. And we helped. That's a fried chicken commercial. Remember what commercial was that there, Corey? You remember that one?
I don't remember that one, no.
And we're shake and bake. And we help.
I remember shake and bake. They still make that stuff?
Yeah, they still make all that stuff. But you know what? We remember the Peep funeral? The Peep funeral picture that you saw. I think that might have had something to do with they were going to end the Twinkie. Did you know they were going to end the Twinkie?
No.
We didn't talk about that on the show because we talk about ridiculousness like
yeah,
who cares? I'm amazed people stay on. The end of the Twinkie.
Wait, so the Peeps they were going out against the Twinkie? They were going to do it in?
The Peeps you had the background that had the Peep funeral.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden I looked in the casket for the Peep, and then all of a sudden I realized that's not a Peep, that's a Twinkie. Yeah. I think it was because they retired the Twinkie. But there was a lot of backlash, so I think they ended up not retiring the Twinkie.
Mm.
What else would you think that picture was about?
I just figured the Twinkie was more casket shaped, but I don't know.
No, I think it was about the death of the Twinkie, but it got resurrected.
Have you ever had a chocolate covered Twinkie, the Chocodile?
Are you serious? You know what?
Hostess makes
Now
it.
I'm going to show up at my P.O. box and there's going to be a huge box.
Oh, yeah.
of
Yeah,
chocolate.
Warren, you didn't hear that. Warren Green did not hear that.
We love Peeps.
I know. And Anna Lee keeps me. Anna Lee also sent Peeps for you too, Annette, but we just know you have 72.
You don't say. Yeah. So, you know, it's funny. Somebody was writing in the chat. You know, you shouldn't be eating so much sugar. You might get diabetes.
Ann Harding. I've never in my whole life ate a Twinkie. How is that possible?
Oh, my mom used to put them in my lunchbox at parochial school. I love Twinkies.
Mm. And if you were still in lunchbox today, a Twinkie would be perfectly preserved.
That and a bologna sandwich.
Yeah, both.
Did you have bologna sandwiches in your lunchbox?
I was never a big bologna guy.
Me neither, but you don't have a choice when you're a kid.
No, that's true. Probably olive
bologna and cheese with mustard or butter.
Yeah, it would have been mustard for me. I was never been a mayo guy.
Salami and cheese? No, it wasn't. It was butter.
Yeah.
Buttered bread.
Olive loaf? Do you ever do that?
No.
It's basically bologna, but with olives in it.
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, I wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah.
But I like salami and cheese.
There you have it, folks. Folks, what do you like? Let us know at netdion7@gmail.com. All right, next question comes from Roxy. I believe Roxy's with us tonight. How you doing? Annette, what kind of justice does the universe deliver to a dark soul after they cross over?
Well, it varies. Because I actually feel like we have all been horrible, horrible humans. We have. We've all been horrible, horrible humans.
Starting with you.
I was a horrible human, maybe a half a lifetime.
What's the most horrible thing you've ever done?
In my past lifetimes?
Nope. This one.
I don't know.
You know. We both know. We both know. The most horrible thing you've done.
To hurt somebody?
It's just the most horrible thing. It's so obvious.
To who?
I don't know.
To you?
No, not to me.
I was mean to Corey.
No.
Was I mean to someone? Because usually, if I'm mean to somebody, it's usually that I don't even know I'm coming off as mean.
Right.
Now you have to tell me.
No, I don't know.
I'm
a bad liar.
You're just messing with my head.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I mean, if somebody asks you that question, Corey, so Corey.
Oh, I have an answer. I've got an answer. I've got three to choose from.
The worst thing that you've done. But to me, if you're talking about the worst thing you've ever done, that involves hurting other humans.
Well, probably. Right.
What else would it be? Hurting a dog or something? Or you'd never do that?
That would hurt a human. For you to hurt a dog.
That's right. So the worst thing that somebody could do is really harm another human being, right?
Warren Green says you hoarded knishes. Now, that's pretty horrible.
Did I? He told me I could have them.
Warren, you're on the clock.
Seems like, well, I'll make sure that I give you your chocolate truffles.
No, yeah, that's got to be tonight though, because we're moving tomorrow.
Oh, I'm very busy tomorrow. I'm not sure I have time to swing by.
Would have to be tonight.
No, I'm busy tonight. No time to swing by.
Yeah, we're all over the place tomorrow.
The question.
You might just be a horrible person.
I might be.
You're right. That's my next question.
I could be. You might be. You could. But you're not.
Well, no, we know in my past life. There are some very questionable things going on.
That's what I'm saying. We were all heinous in a past lifetime, at least one.
Yeah.
And it was mostly, the guy just saying, it was mostly out of ignorance that we were all horrible people. It is ignorance that makes people horrible. As far as what happens if somebody's terrible in this lifetime when they cross over,
Yes. What kind of justice does the universe deliver?
the just
Oh, and it froze. Hold on, folks. Let me know that it's just Annette and not me. And we'll make sure we can get her back. Let's see. Folks, is it my connection or is it Annette's connection? Because Zoom has been junky tonight. It's not me. Thank you, Sue. Christina wants to switch. I'm not in charge. All right, Annette is off now. She'll be back in a little bit. It is top of the hour, so I can reset the stage here too. Okay, so she'll try to get in. Let's hope. I did tell you that Zoom actually was down about 5 minutes before we popped on tonight, but we are at the top of the hour. So it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, coming at you from Gloucester, Massachusetts. This is not Gloucester, Massachusetts, by the way. You're watching episode 80, I believe, of The Psychic and the Sidekick. Is she trying to call me? We'll let this call go through. We're going to patch this in. Ugh. Nope. Hold on. I'll reboot. Okay. All right. So anyway, she'll be back with us momentarily, we hope. So the problem's on her end. We haven't had wonky Wi-Fi with Annette in quite some time, so hopefully it's a temporary thing. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Corey from Bridge Cape Am, and I try connecting local businesses to the world at large. I was a Facebook guy for a long time, but I've been doing this with Annette now for a little more than a year. And we do this every Wednesday evening, Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. I usually go on the night before and field questions as well, which is what we're appealing from tonight. So anyway, you can look for collaborations coming up soon with Celtic Tarot Sheila, a new friend of the channel. She popped in last night to say hi, so we're going to set something up with her. And Andre the Astrologer. That's happening soon too. And Anna is trying to set that up as we speak, as a matter of fact. If you want to scroll through some of our past episodes, they are all here on the channel. A couple of latest interviews that I've done are with Svetlana Rozgan. She is my Ukrainian friend. She owns a bridal shop in Salem, Massachusetts, and she gave us an update on the situation in Ukraine with friends and family. She also has an Amazon wish list that people have donated to, where in the past people have literally bought goods that Svetlana helped transport to Poland, Romania, bordering countries, and they were snuck over the border, those goods. And then the soldiers who got those goods actually took pictures of them and showed us what our donations did to help them out. So that was pretty cool. So anyway, she had a really nice update for us. I can break it down like this. Ukrainians do see a light at the end of the tunnel. But, you know, every time you turn around, Russia seems to double down and target civilians and all that kind of bullshit. But Svetlana was doing okay. Her family is in the States here with her now. So that was good to know too. Also, Annette and I are Zooming. We normally, or what we want to do, especially when the weather's better, is be side by side. And people usually send us food and stuff or gifts to unbox. We do that as well. We'll get back into that in the spring. But my house is actually being demolished, essentially, next week. And as it's being redone, I'm building a studio in the house here. So Annette and I will have a crew and actually bring shows to you in the future. So there is that. Now coming back from, geez, from the big... You had to leave to get those peeps?
I made myself go off the air so I could go get my peeps.
Welcome back. Well, now what kind of peeps are those?
These are some serious peeps.
Yeah, come on, share them. Let's go. Let's have them.
Are they the same?
That's a regular yellow peep. Yeah.
Yes, they look white in the light.
Yeah, I've got the peppermint bark.
Cool. Look, it's like a glowing peep.
Yeah, it is. It's nuclear. Put that in your stomach.
Okay.
Well, like giving yourself an X-ray.
Anyway, I don't know what's up with my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that was we hadn't had one of those episodes in a while. So, but
Well, when I was doing my podcast, we had a couple glitches too. We did a Zoom. Might be the area.
So did you want to finish up again or reiterate what kind of justice does the universe deliver to a dark soul after they cross over, or after it crosses over?
It's not like the earth plane. When we cross over, it doesn't matter who we've been. We do a life review. We decide whether it was, you know, I'm trying to do this from a human brain perspective. We're aware of what the content of that lifetime was, and we understand that the ultimate thing that we're going for is to be as light, as full of light and love as possible, to be as lightened as we possibly can. So if we get it really, really, really like we're way in the dark in a lifetime, we have to come back. Donald J. Trump had an opportunity to come back after his lifetime as Mussolini and to do better. And he opted out. And the justice is on this plane. It's not on the other plane, because Donald J. Trump, I don't care what anybody says, has a miserable freaking existence. He has a life that's devoid of love. That's punishment. If there's any such thing as punishment, that's pretty much hell.
Well, speaking of love, Annette, Catherine Gavin says, love and light to both of you. I so enjoy your friendship.
Oh, we enjoy your friendship too.
Wasn't that nice?
Yeah, thank you. It means a lot. I mean, it feeds us. When people send us things and write us nice notes and emails and nice things in the chat, it feeds us. It feeds our soul. Everyone do that for someone.
Good.
I'm good. I got my peep. I'm good. I'm good for another hour.
Annette, this next question comes from Blue Wrench named Christian Montone.
The Blue Wrench? I like that.
Corey, please ask Annette, what is the most sacred space or building she has ever encountered?
The space where the Diana Lingam is in India.
Do
I have to go get another book for you?
If it comes down to it.
I'm not sure where it is. Diana Lingam is it's a lingam shaped like an elliptical shape. I think I'm saying that right. And it holds such a high frequency vibration. Sadhguru designed it through many lifetimes. Finally got it in this lifetime. To sit and meditate in the presence of the Diana Lingam is to be as close to the frequency of the creator energy as you can possibly get. It's all scientific. But anyway, when I was in India, it wasn't completed yet. And now it's like an entire city there. But it wasn't even completed yet. And to be in the presence of that was the most sacred presence I've ever been in. Vibrational wise. Like you would just instantly go into a meditative state.
Did you ever go to like the McDonald's at the Beverly Salem Bridge?
That's a little different.
Just asking.
Slightly different.
That name sounds as dangerously close to Ding-a-ling.
Diana Lingam.
Diana Lingam?
I know, it's too much to explain. Let me see.
We're getting some big questions tonight.
I'm looking for the spelling of it.
Lingham?
There's actually a glossary in this book. Well, Diana is Dhyana, and it means meditation.
Oh, is it Dinah?
Dhyana. means
Oh, damn.
meditation, and linga means a symbol, the first form, the cosmic principle of creativity. It's like the origin of creativity, vibration, generally associated with Lord Shiva. So that being in the presence of the Dhyana Lingam will shake you to your core, to your essence, to sense your essence. That's my layperson's way of describing it. Go to ishafoundation.org and you'll see a picture of it.
We're doing a lot of reading tonight, Annette.
I'm a teacher. I'm a Sagittarius. We teach.
Annette, our next question comes from Jane Harris. Jane's always with us. Hi, Jane. She asks, will Biden add a new Supreme Court justice this year?
Yeah, a long time ago, I saw 3. And
Three?
one down, 2 to go. Yep, absolutely. And Kavanaugh's out of there. There's a movie coming out, we talked about that.
Mhm.
Can't wait. Does anybody in the chat know when it's going to be available to watch?
Does anyone know out there?
There's a movie that, man, I don't have, is it live stream? The movie channel? Is it live stream or live? No, it must be Lifetime. You know that movie channel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't have a TV and I don't have cable, so I couldn't watch it, but I want to find out how to watch
Lifetime's been around for a long time.
There's a movie about this evangelical preacher. It's called Starving for Salvation. See if the people in the chat have heard about the movie. The woman, Jennifer, who was the woman in there's a Jennifer Grey that was in
Dirty Dancing?
Dirty Dancing with Patrick Swayze.
That's her.
She plays the evangelical preacher, and it was like a total cult. And it's funny because I remember it when I lived in Nashville, because it was right in Franklin, Tennessee, right next door. And she was this evangelical, just hardcore cult preacher who preached the gospel of dieting to starvation. So she had like this eating disorder, and she was just like crazy. Anyway, I wanted to watch that the other night, and I wasn't able to watch it because it's on live stream. But anyway,
Sounds fun.
what were we talking about?
Well, Supreme Court justice. Well, you said.
Oh, because I was talking about movies. Yeah, I want to know when that movie comes out, but it's not necessarily that I'll be able to watch it when it comes out, because if it's not, in a format I can watch it, I have to wait. Like this movie about the evangelical, I think her name was Gwen something. See if you people know what I'm talking about.
Let's see. I think Roxy has heard about it, but couldn't watch it.
Oh, she couldn't either. It's not just me. Starving for Salvation. Yeah, you have to have like Lifetime movies or some other, and then they make you sign up, and it's like way too expensive to sign up just to watch one stupid movie.
Yeah, one of the streaming services there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous what you have to go through. So the Justice movie.
I saw the movie about Gwen Shamblin that Annette
Shamblin, right.
Yeah.
I guess her son was a country singer, and in the movie.
The Way Down. Sarah Reggie says The Way Down is really good.
Has anyone
that
seen
might be
it?
the name of the movie with Gwen Shamblin.
Yeah, WEIGH. The Way Down. Yeah, it was a real thing. People are crazy. So Justice, I was just talking about movies that are available, that are coming out. I don't know when the movie about Brett Kavanaugh is coming out, but that is so gonna sink him. It's gonna be like someone just shoots that balloon. I like beers going down.
But I did enjoy Squee when you talked about Squee. That was always my favorite.
I'm gonna have to, when that movie comes out, just for posterity, I'm gonna watch Matt Damon playing Brett Kavanaugh on SNL.
And I watched every minute of his confirmation hearing.
I did too.
Every minute. I can't remember why.
It was horrifying. Because maybe I made you watch it. Were we having shows then? I think we were.
How long ago was that now?
I made you watch it. I can't make
it. I was fascinated by it, and it was just silly.
That was probably 2019.
Yeah.
Today I was thinking about 2019.
You mean before COVID?
2019. I mean, it's just like I was just realizing what a stark, it's like it crossed over into a different existence after March 2020. We're coming up on the 3-year anniversary. Wow. Of the pandemic.
What a ride it's been.
It's been, my whole life drastically changed, like in a second. On March 15th, 16th, the Ides of March of 2020.
Ides of March on the 15th, St. Patrick's on the 17th, St. Joseph's on the 19th. Crazy time of year.
And in 2020, it was weird. But everything just changed. And I was just thinking about, like Brett Kavanaugh, I think that happened, those hearings were in 2018 or 2019. But I don't know, I was just pondering how different things became. Is that true for you, or is it just me because I had to shut down? I had to change everything that I was doing.
Well, I had the 2 jobs, but I did a lot of work from home. So it just sort of amplified what I was doing. But it was just with a lot less contact and face-to-face.
From home, right. I remember that. Yeah, so we were doing shows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were in lockdown, and it was such a strange existence. And I had been seeing people in person during that time, and it wasn't really going very well anyway. And nobody has set foot in my office in 2-3 years.
It sucked. That summer sucked. It was like summer got canceled.
Oh, it was awful. But when it first happened, that was like a sci-fi movie. I was thinking about that today, how much it was like, wasn't it? Like we're in a sci-fi movie.
That first week or two, people thought it was almost like a fun vacation. Like, hey, what's Zoom? We can all be on at the same time together and have fun. And we'll be back at work Monday. It's like, nope.
We thought 2 weeks max.
Yeah.
And I remember going up to my folks. They live right up the street. That's why I always talk about going over there. I went up there to hear what Donald Trump had to say about this virus that was coming over from China. And we were all like at the edge of our seat. What is he going to say? The president.
You think that's what those 3 balloons that Trump didn't shoot down? You think they were holding the virus?
Oh, that was a ridiculous thing that they said on Fox and wherever else they said it. So I remember Trump getting up and we're all like, I wonder what he's going to say. Here he is, the president. We have this pandemic, this weird virus. Nobody knew what it was going to happen. And he's like, there's no need to worry. We have it under control. There's only 15 cases, 15. 15 cases. Do you remember that?
And he had it.
I thought he was going to die. If he didn't have Walter Reed Hospital, he would be dead. That's God's honest truth. The cards were saying dead.
A case of Diet Coke a day just doesn't do what it used to.
That was preserving him, I think.
Mm.
And he literally wanted to have a Superman shirt underneath his shirt when he got out of Walter Reed. That was real.
Nirajan is asking, where is Annette? Annette is in her office. She just changed her angle.
Because I couldn't be at a slant all the time. It was really hurting my body.
It's better. And I like that little light purple, that thing you have in the background.
I got this in New Hampshire. We went to a little, in the little pharmacy there, the old-fashioned pharmacy, there was a, like a retro.
With a light bulb in its ass? What is that thing?
The retro kind of, looks like a spy. It looks like a sea anemone. Yeah. It's just a stupid thing from China.
No. You mean you're American made from the local shop down the street?
That's probably more, from the shop down the street.
Yeah.
That was a little country store in New Hampshire.
Ready for a question?
Yeah, but first, do you have any recommendations for places to go in Vermont that aren't 5 hours away?
Yeah, Woodstock. It's exit 1.
How far is it?
A little under 2.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll check that out.
It's beautiful.
I'm planning my next expedition.
Walkable, a good art center there, picturesque. Like a lot of Southern Vermont, you get a lot of the New York people with money like authors and artists and who end up settling there. So it's kind of funky.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
Fun
cool.
there? Okay, that'll be my next spot.
Yeah.
We'll be live.
By the way, the Woodstock Chamber of Commerce, throw some peeps my way. The next question, Annette, comes from Rhonda Rue, who helped the channel earlier tonight, and she asked, Annette, will Trump Jr. go to rehab when the shoe drops on him?
Rhonda Rue, you need to come to my class if you're not coming already. I don't know why I'm saying that. On Saturday, I have the Love Yourself class. No, I mean, I'm just saying, I feel like if she's not already signed up. That goes for everyone. I don't know why I feel like she wants to come to my class. Will he go to rehab?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's going to be his only out. And the irony is he's all like gung-ho about investigating Hunter Biden, who's also an addict, but he's a recovered addict. Yeah, that's going to be how Don Jr. gets it. Don Jr. is a mess. This is what not having love as a baby does to a human being. He's a mess. I'll pick 3 cards.
Okay.
I feel like I haven't been working.
These are the first cards of the night. One pendulum and 1 card pull. Well, folks, welcome to the Psychic and the
I
Sidekick.
haven't been working. Like I've just been goofing off. Have I been goofing off?
We've had 3 peeps, no tarot card pulls, and 1 pendulum swing.
I only had 1 peep.
I had 2.
There's so much powerful energy coming down. He won't be able to stop it. Yeah, the things are starting to change. You won't be able to tell from these cards, but the truth is coming. He's meant to be in rehab. I don't think he's functioning. I don't think he's functional. He's meant to be in rehab. He's going to be, I don't know if you'd call it sentenced to rehab, but it kind of feels like that. And all the tricks that he's been doing, all the gymnastics with the finances and everything, they're coming back to haunt him big time. So I'm feeling New York. I'm feeling like, I want to say Seance, but I mean, what's his face? Is Warren there?
Mm-hmm.
Brad, I'm trying to think of the prosecutor's name. Brad? Is Warren there?
Yeah, Warren's around at some point. All right, we want to point out, Yoon just donated to the Ukraine fund that Svetlana had set up.
Okay.
So thanks for that, Yoon.
Is it in the description?
It is. Yeah, Annalise dropped it in there. And also, Annette, you can ring that bell further because Catherine Bush has donated to the channel. Thank you so much.
If I go like this.
There you go. I can hear that a little bit.
All right, I'll just do that from now on. They sound nice together.
They do.
Cool.
Thank you, Catherine. We appreciate it. Alvin Bragg.
Alvin Bragg, yes. Bragg. I'm feeling Alvin Bragg because I wanted to say Seance, and I was like, no, it's not Seance. I feel like Don Jr. is, I mean, I actually feel like, believe it or not, for some reason, I feel like people are going to take pity on him.
Oh, boy. Can I tell you what my favorite moment of the Trump presidency was? When he was on his way out. Remember when he was in the airport hangar and his kids were lined up? And which one was balling? Was it Junior?
That's one of my favorite scenes. They were so all crying. I was like,
buddy,
have at it. How does it feel to feel hopeless?
Yeah.
So, you know, we were so happy. I don't like to revel in other people's misery, but they were a crime family in charge of this country. They committed so many crimes. There are so many crimes that Donald Trump committed that they just can't even figure out which one to get him for. It's what a circus. But Don Jr., he really is, he's very sick. Addict sick. I mean, there's to me, there's different levels of addiction. He's like a heroin addict, but I do think that it's cocaine, which ain't cheap.
No, but they got it covered.
No, they're running out. Believe me. Wow.
Lauren's asking, when will Bragg or Fannie Mills indict the Trump?
Is he asking when?
He's always asking when.
He thinks he can butter me up with Peeps and keep asking me when.
And you know what? It works. I want you to mail one Knish back to Warren with just tape on it and just say, stop asking when.
They're gone.
Of course they're gone. Did you bring them to New Hampshire with you?
No, they were long gone. No.
They go fast.
I brought the Peeps and I made Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah, that's right. I saw those. Those were great.
But they weren't even the Warren Peeps because those showed up. The box was open. And it was frigid cold. And so I'm at my office. My housemate texts me. These Peeps were
this crate of marshmallows is on the front step.
Yes. The box had broken open. And it was like frigid. It was like below zero wind chill. And so they were frozen. So he brought them in and he toasted them by the heater.
He resuscitated them, brought the Peeps back to life.
It was a tragedy.
That's so nice. Tragedy and burning.
But I made the Rice Krispie treats.
You need little Peeps blankets in a situation like that.
That was from a different batch of Peeps.
Can you believe how many Peeps we eat now?
No, we created a monster.
Oh my God. Can you ring the bell real quick, Annette?
Do you actually have people in the chat? Because I can't believe how much time we're wasting.
450 plus. We've had 450 to 500 today. So Peggy, our Reiki master, has donated to the channel. Thank you, Peggy. Peggy's always with
Peggy. Us. Do more Reiki.
Hello, this is Peggy. Thank you, Peggy.
People need Reiki.
Oh, by the way, Annette, so I had a poll running right now. Peeps, yes or no? Do you want to guess what the percentages are?
Well, what was the question? Well, you can't just say Peeps, yes or no.
Yeah,
What's that even
Peeps, you either like them or you don't. Peeps, yes or no?
We've done this before. Most people don't like them.
60-40, yes. We're turning people around.
Yeah, I think we should get a kickback. You know, the guy just died, so maybe we could be.
Yeah, could someone hit up the Bourne family? You know, I'm wondering if the algorithm on our channel has just shaken out to people who like Peeps follow us now.
Be good. 60%.
60-40 for Peeps. We like it, folks. What are we doing? Are you drawing cards? Am I
don't know. I don't even know if I answered the question because he asked when, and then I changed the subject.
What a weird show tonight. How about this question, Annette? Speaking of, as Jaggy flies behind me, what type of information does Annette think the Chinese spy balloon collected? Or there's a lot of presumptions there, right, Annette?
Well, they've collected intelligence in the past, and the location of our weaponry in the past, because there were 3 of them that crossed through around the United States when Trump was president. So it was freaking crazy as all hell when they were talking about, oh well, if Trump wouldn't happen if Trump was president. Trump would have had it. I don't know. He didn't do anything. We have been praying and intending that our secret information has been rendered useless. Literally, we pray about that every single week at my church and at our spiritual meeting on Tuesday. So what happened was, it's a blessing that we were able to shoot it down over the Atlantic. I was waiting for it to come lapping up on the shores. We were able to shoot it down over the Atlantic, and we might still wash up on our shores. And they were able to retrieve it, which, what interests me about this is, and this is an unrelated topic, That's what they've done with the alien spaceships that have crashed. Different topic, but it just reminded me. Anyway, and we'll get to that in a sec. What happened was they knew what to look for, and they now have what the Chinese intelligence was using, and they have more intelligence information to protect us. Did that answer the question?
I don't know if that answered anything.
What was the question?
Oh, geez. Just what information was being collected from that spy balloon?
Information about, I thought I answered that, about
You did.
our weaponry. What do they think, I'm in the military school?
Yeah, people want to know.
I'm not a general. I know I look just like a general, but I'm not. But they've been doing surveillance anyway. It's like our enemy countries are always spying on us. It's a matter of degree, how much we can control it. Eventually, we're all going to have to figure out how to freaking get along, because everyone's going to know everything about everybody. You know what I mean? That's starting to be the case. So they collected information about our weaponry. Is it me? I mean, isn't that obvious? I admit to being a smart ass.
Ring the bell.
Full disclaimer. I mean, but I'm not just being a smart ass. It just seems like that's obvious what they collected. They collected they were right over the silos, the weapons, the nuclear weapon, the warheads, right? I'm not a general. I'm not a military general. I can't tell you exactly, well, was this one and this number and this model, and you answer the question.
You heard the lady. Look, I mean, there's all kinds of things to look at.
This is one for Corey. I'm throwing it to you.
There's all sorts of great things to look at in Montana. And we did shout out Peggy for the tip in the channel, so we appreciate it.
I'm throwing it out to you. What did the balloon collect? How would you answer?
I would say, I think it was just a joyride. I think they're looking at real estate.
You think it was really that? They were just transporting an elephant in there?
I think there was real estate. I think they're looking to see what else they can buy around here. Can we buy Montana, like Western Montana? Can we put a bid in? Chinese buy a lot of property around here the last handful of years. A lot.
Oh, so I wonder if that person thinks it wouldn't have been our military intelligence. I am assuming that everybody knows that what they're interested in a surveillance balloon. It wasn't weather. It was
why would you need something low flying like that? And obvious.
I think it probably ran out of air a little bit. Maybe a seagull went.
What movie was it? Was it Super Fudge? Remember that movie? Wasn't there someone who flew away, a cop flew away in a balloon or something? It was an Australian movie about that too. Oh, Danny Deck Chair. Look up Danny Deck Chair, folks.
Did he actually go up in a balloon in his deck chair?
Yeah.
How far did he go?
He went to some idyllic little Australian location. Yeah, Danny Deck Chair.
Have you been up in a balloon?
I can't remember. I don't think so.
I think you would remember that, don't you?
I know I do, because I'm scared of heights.
There's no way you couldn't pay me.
Yeah.
Sometimes they fall.
All right, so we're hearing everywhere from that the balloon was at 65,000 to 100,000 feet.
I think somebody screwed up. And the balloon behind you is getting lower, I think.
It could be getting lower.
I think it's going to hit the ground pretty soon.
Brenda, shoot a blow dart at that thing.
Now, can you just humor me? What is the name of that background?
I honestly, I'd have to look it up, but I don't know.
It's pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
It's like you're at a lighthouse in Maine, but you can see the moon, and it's kind of like middle of the afternoon daylight, and somebody's transporting an elephant.
It's pretty random.
Is that what it's called? Is it called Pretty Random?
It's not unlike tonight's show. We're sort of all over the place.
Is the moon void, of course? Wait a minute, it might be.
Look at that. Marcelina Robledo. Danny Deckchair is a funny little movie. That's where this reminded me of.
So he ends up, where does he end up?
In some like idyllic little, I think he's in a bad marriage.
That's one way away from your
a dead end job. This is a pretty cookie cutter kind of movie. But he ends up getting floating away in his deck chair in a balloon, and it takes him. And then he lands in this like neighborhood where he's beloved.
Oh, and he gets a new perspective.
Yeah.
There's a movie like that. It doesn't involve.
I just told you it's called Danny Deckchair.
No. I'm talking about another movie. I think Jennifer Aniston was in it, and they ended up. They were like this New York couple, and then they ended up in this. They lost their jobs and everything fell apart, and they ended up finding this commune on a road trip they were on, and it was all peace and love, and it's all about peace and love and having people love on you like that.
Yeah, the name of the movie was called Bullshit.
No, it wasn't.
No, but it should be.
What's the name of the movie that you're talking about?
Danny Deckchair.
Oh, that is the name of the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was the name of the character.
Oh, Marcelina has seen it.
I'm gonna look it up tonight.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Sorry.
You can check.
I watch mindless things when I need to give my brain a break. I watch mindless. The less I have to think, the better it is.
The Good Doctor does the same thing.
It's good. It balances things out, right? I bet that's what she says.
Yeah. Basically. It's just background.
Yeah. Because sometimes your brain gets too overloaded.
Too brainy.
Does that happen to you?
Yeah. Sometimes I just need a few days to sit and marinate and just let some of those back burner thoughts come in and get creative and bubble to the surface again.
That's what the rune card was saying earlier. We all need to just let things steep and recharge. So every once in a while, I have a friend, a long time ago, a friend of mine said, everybody needs a pajama day once a week. I don't do that, but.
Once a week? And not because of Zoom, that's pretty much 6 days
a
week.
This is a friend who is really good at relaxing.
Apparently, yeah.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
You have to practice.
Yeah, it's a gift to be able to just turn things off like that.
But 1 day a week, everyone, it's beneficial for everyone to take 1 day a week to not expect too much of themselves, because you can't be firing on all cylinders all the time. You'll burn out. Right? But you're kind of a workaholic, so.
Oh yeah, I just like to take a big bubble bath.
You go to Vermont, right?
I've been in Vermont. I went last year we went surfing last March.
Surfing?
The last couple of years. Sugar, like in a syrup. We make syrup, maple syrup.
Surfing. I'm like, you can't surf in Vermont.
You can you can snowboard.
It's almost time, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go up?
I don't know yet. My buddy who had the sugar shack actually moved to another place with a bigger sugar shack, and I don't know if it's ready yet. But it's a cool process. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of sap to get syrup.
This place that we went is called Intervale Pancake House. It was right down the road from where we stayed, and we noticed on the way.
Henniker?
Yeah, do you know where Intervale? So you know where I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're walking out. We noticed they had all this maple syrup, and I was like, oh, that's what all those logs in the back are for, because they had tons of firewood. So I don't know if it's going on now, but it seemed like it.
Oh, they were making their own?
Yeah, they made their own.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
But you know where I mean, the name of the place. Yeah.
And each syrup has its own tone to it, its own coloring.
Yeah.
Fascinating process. Okay. Thanks for that last question. Whoever asked that, whatever it was. Here's a question from Jessica Love. Not a stage name.
Oh, I love the name.
Jessica Love. Annette, will mega churches ever be taxed?
But first she has to read this.
Love is always the answer.
Or your last name.
Jessica Love is always the answer.
You had that question before.
Yeah, we get that every now and then.
Yeah, I see based on like how much if they earn above a certain amount, yes. Because I mean, when it comes to like, okay, your church is making $1 billion, that's not fair. Because anybody can make a business and call it a church, and that's kind of happening too, and they're getting away with not paying any taxes. It's a thing, but Joe Biden's going to fix it. You know what? Because he's going to make sure that people that make, or corporations that are paying people are paying no taxes if they have billions. It's like they get rewarded for having billions. I don't even know what a billion would be like to have. Wouldn't really.
Or thousands. We're working on trying to be thousandaires.
I don't know what it would be like to, like, if you had $1 billion in the bank right now, right?
Silly.
Wouldn't you kind of feel like you should contribute to society because?
I'd have the biggest hot air balloon you can imagine.
There you go. But it'd be like you're $1 billion. Say you just had 1 billion. Wouldn't you feel like a jerk if you didn't share it?
And what are you going to do with it?
And like I was saying about Jeff Bezos and Amazon, right? Well, they do plenty with it. He's got, maybe look it up. What he's doing with his money. He's got tons of stuff that he doesn't need. So when I think about infrastructure and Amazon, for example, all those Amazon trucks need roads to travel on, and they need airplanes to transport their stuff, and they need infrastructure, in other words. But he's getting off scot-free. He billions of dollars, and he can't contribute to the betterment of society, which his trucks benefit from. That's no fairsies. And it's the same with churches that don't need all that money. What's going on with your background?
Well, they need it for the lawsuits.
They need what for the lawsuits?
The money.
They got plenty of money for the lawsuits too, if they're paying. And it's not like, it drives me crazy when I hear somebody on the news saying, well, the wealthy, the very, very super wealthy will have to pay more in taxes. It's not more in taxes, or it's not even their fair share. More accurately, the billionaires, the wicked wealthy, ultra wealthy 1% will have to pay some taxes. More than zero, at least. And Joe Biden's only asking for 15%. It's still less than we pay.
Takes you back to that Steve Forbes flat tax idea years ago. He just said 15% across the board for everybody.
Oh, and pet Social Security and Medicare, was that part of it too?
I don't remember that. No, this was decades ago.
Well,
what did Forbes run? Was that back in the 90s? I remember. Someone will remind me. That was his platform.
Our viewers know about it because they're very astute and they pay attention to, they paid attention last night.
Yeah.
When Joe Biden turned it around and made the Republicans inadvertently, because of their own stupidity, stand up and cheer for keeping Medicare and Social Security, even though what they had been proposing was that we toss out Social Security and Medicare, and you're totally distracting me. The Peeps are back. See, it's a Twinkie.
Poor guy.
I don't know what's up with the cowboy Twinkie in the right.
I don't know. It's pretty good though, and I don't know what's going on with this one. That could be anything.
I can't see it.
And me neither.
So that must be the deceased. That's a picture of the deceased Twinkie.
In his better days.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. So yeah, Forbes ran in 92.
So what they were proposing, Rick Scott and Bill Lee, and which used to be the name of a Red Sox player, but anyway.
Yeah, the spaceman.
Well, this Bill Lee is a fascist. Anyway, the Republicans have been trying to do this for years, but what's happened is these Republicans, fascists, came out and said, we need to check Social Security and Medicare, and we need to replace them with a 30% sales tax across the board for all. And last night, when Joe Biden called them out on it, they're like, you're a liar. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you're a liar. Yeah. And they started totally heckling him. Despicable behavior. So they denied what they had been talking about doing. They out and out denied it. And then he got them to turn around and applaud for not touching Social Security and not touching Medicare. It was freaking genius. Biden's not stupid. He's not stupid.
Annette, are you ready for our question of the week?
I didn't know we had one.
Oh, we have one.
Have we done that before?
Well, so every now and then we got a question that just stands out from the others.
I think we have lots of questions that stand out from the others, don't you?
This one's pretty special. This is from Lishki Girl. I think she might be with us tonight.
She might be a what?
She might be in the live chat tonight. I'm not positive. I thought I saw
okay. Earlier. I thought you were reading from the live chat.
Now, was Benjamin Franklin a serial killer? They found a pit in his basement with human bones in his former London home at 36 Craven Street, and several infant bones were also included.
And several what bones?
The bones of infants.
No, I don't feel like he was a murderer. They might have been there from before. In England?
36 Craven Street, London. Look that up, folks.
That's where he lived before he came here?
He spent time in England. A lot of time. I think he was in England during a couple of big, one of the major presidential elections. He was away. John Adams?
No, I'm not picking up any connection to dead bodies and Ben Franklin. Nothing. Have you heard about this? I haven't heard about this.
No, I hadn't. But then I thought we got that question last night, and then maybe Damon was around and jumped in and said, and then also heard the thing too. Sounds like an Agatha Christie thing.
Sounds like a rumor to me. Sounds like conspiracy. I mean, I can sense the house with remains in the basement, but let me tell you something. That old house I told you about that I lived in for a few months.
Yeah.
I literally, people would come over and visit, and I'd be like, underneath this rug here, there's a hole. And that's where they kept the bodies.
Oh, boy.
And I don't know what they did, but then I thought about it, and it's like, it totally makes sense. Because you can't bury bodies in the dead of winter. Well, the kind of winters they had. So you have to put them under the house.
Yep.
So somebody probably forgot they did that.
Bring out your dead.
No, Ben Franklin was not a murderer. He was eccentric, but he wasn't a murderer. Like, that seems preposterous to me.
Yeah, I was taken aback.
Just from what I'm getting, it's like, that's preposterous. He was like the furthest thing from a murderer. You were taken aback? See, you're psychic.
Of course I was taken aback.
Horror. Show me your taken aback look. That's pretty good.
Look at this poor guy. Look what it did to this guy.
I know, it wasn't.
He heard that question, he fainted. Annette, this question comes from Rainbow65. And Rainbow asks, will Sam Paxton ever be charged for SEC violations? We don't know.
Are you in the know about that? I'm not absolutely clueless.
I am not in the know. I am not in the know.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, we can move on.
I know who Ken Paxton is.
I
Did you
know.
get the name wrong?
Huh?
Did you get the name wrong?
Sam Paxton.
I don't know who that is.
Could be an error. I copy and paste direct. So
All right.
next question comes from Eileen, who says, will Pope Francis's call to accept gay people start more people to move towards acceptance?
Well, I think what he said was it's not a sin. Right? Did he go further than that? Because I think what he said was, according to him, it's not
I
a
think
sin.
he asked for acceptance. I thought I saw that soundbite.
Yeah, however, it does. I'm not picking up that he was like, all the gay people come to the Catholic Church. I'm not picking up that it was that. I'm picking up that it was more, it's not considered a sin. You don't have to live in guilt and like that. Is it peep time? Is it time for a second
I grabbed
peep?
this one right out of his chair.
It's a true peep show. I'm wondering if somebody bit the Twinkie and that's what happened to him.
I know, yeah. We don't know what's going on down this end of the
I
Twinkie.
want to know how he died. He's got a cowboy hat on.
Mm.
So that's probably the story, I think.
He lived a great life.
As a cowboy Twinkie?
Yeah. Who knows?
Maybe. I want to know the full story of that scene.
Hi, Laurel. Good to see you tonight. What are we doing here? You want another question?
Oh, I should be brushing my teeth.
You will after. We're gonna have to brush our teeth. You can brush it with that LED thing you have in the background there.
Probably.
It's
It's an Astro something.
cool.
Looks better in the dark.
And then Charles Schmidt asks, "Why are the whales dying off the Atlantic seaboard there?"
Oh, I can't even. I can't even look at it. It's just I am, if you see a picture of me when I was a teenager, I'm wearing Save the Whales shirts. I can't even. Whales and dolphins are sentient beings. They have feelings like elephants. That elephant that was being dragged behind you is a sentient being that has feelings. But these are advanced. They're advanced. Their brains are really advanced. They have this sonar that they communicate with sonar. They write songs. The humpback whale writes songs. They communicate in songs that they compose. So I think they're distraught. I think the whales are distraught. That's what I get. And I think it's like, I know it's a kind of a silly analogy, but it's like the canary in the coal mine. There's so much pollution in the oceans. There's so much radiation in the oceans. They can't survive. So where are they washing up?
The Atlantic seaboard, East Coast Shore, lots in Jersey, and in fact, maybe North Carolina.
They pilot whales or what kind of whales?
I don't know what kind of whales.
It's too painful. They can't. The oceans they're so polluted. Plus global climate change. It's just they can't sustain themselves in the ocean environment that they're in. So they know. It's like suicide. I think they literally lose hope. I really do.
Yee. That's not a good sign of that.
Well, and there's so much sonar that's interfering with, like for the humpbacks, for instance, they need to communicate. And the guides are showing me, it's like the bees. That makes sense. Like the honeybees, it feels like there's too much interference. I don't know if it's 5G or what, but they get confused. Like a lot of animals have sort of a sonar. They receive signals. and they're getting all scrambled. Speaking of that, I'm jumping around. Remember earlier I said it's like the when we were talking about the surveillance balloon, different topic, because I need to get off the whale topic. So the Chinese surveillance balloon, they were able to collect intelligence about what the Chinese were collecting on our military bases. And I said it's much like when the spaceship crashed at Roswell, and that's not just the only one. The way that we advanced in our technology is from what we found in those spaceships. Look at what we can do nowadays. A lot of that technology is alien technology. Entertainment purposes only. It's just my download. How's it going over there? You seem kind of somber in that funeral scene.
Well, the whale talk was a downer.
Did you know that Twinkie?
I would like to know that Twinkie.
Were you were you friends with the deceased?
I don't know. I've eaten half the congregation.
No. It's kind of in poor taste.
You think?
For you to show up.
You're no better.
It's kind of in poor taste for you to show up at the Peep funeral eating a Peep.
It could have been worse. We could be eating Twinkies tonight.
Oh no, I can see the shipments of Twinkies.
I know. Good God.
Where are we at?
We're at this question, Annette, from Alexandra Landon. Will I be offered interesting work overseas?
Stop it. PsychicandNetGeon.com is where you book your appointments.
I let her know. The answer is no, by the way, Alexandra. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Corey answers a personal question.
I answer all personal questions.
That's good.
You will not be offered interesting work overseas. It'll be pretty uninteresting if you get an offer. I would go anyway.
You would go overseas for a job?
Even if for an uninteresting job. Depends on the sea I'm going over, but.
Where would you like to be?
I loved Australia and New Zealand.
Would you go to Australia and do this?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you could start Bridge Australia.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Good. You never know. I mean, we have to get ready to move if this climate change thing just keeps going the way it's going.
Yeah, plenty of dry land in Australia. Annette, Tammy Kennelly, or Kennelly. I think it's Kennelly.
Cannoli? Is it cannoli?
I think it's Kennelly. She's with us a lot. I think she's
I like cannoli.
She's up in the Calgary area. Does Annette see any big celebrities crossing over soon? People like their dead celebrities, Annette.
They do? Is that a thing?
People like it. They always like to guess. Who's going next?
Will there be any celebrities passing soon? That's the question?
Mm-hmm.
I don't predict death. That's not a cop-out. I just feel like it's none of my business.
I think it's a good answer, though.
Yeah, well, people want to know, and it's like, that's not my business. I can't. Not allowed.
Is that so?
I feel like it's off limits.
Mm.
And you know what else I feel like is off limits is telling people, you know, what someone's going to look like. If they're looking for a relationship, he's going to look like this, and you're going to meet him here, and so that's off limits too. Because that misleads people. But I don't, I don't. It doesn't feel right. It feels unethical for me to predict which celebrity is going to die next. Plus, it's morbid. It must be the funeral scene.
No, I think what happens is I get in my question gathering shows, like, all right, folks, do you have any questions? And most people aren't ready to ask a question. And then it's just like, all right, I'm throwing this one out there. We've had some new names lately, and then we got some personal questions too. So like, I already tell them what the answer is going to be.
I think that Twinkie was in a Western movie.
Yeah.
So he's a celebrity. He might be a celebrity. But there's one.
Let's test your knowledge here. We have a
Okay.
question from Yoon Chung Ong.
Test my knowledge or test my intuition?
Well, we're going to test both because this is not easy. Corey, can you ask Annette to read on the new Prime Minister of Malaysia, Anwar?
Wait, she asked that question before.
She insists you read on this. She just wants to know, will he be a good Prime Minister and last? That's it.
And the answer was that he'd bring a lot of new young blood, new energy in, and he'd give the people hope, and they're still going to have challenges, but there's going to be progress. It's not going to be backwards. It's going to be progress. It's just going to be very small incremental progress. But it's kind of like, if you're in a big hole and you climb out of it and you've just climbed out of it, that's progress. You know what I mean? So then, if you're just crawling for a little while and you're crawling slowly, at least you're out of the hole. And that's what I get about the new Prime Minister, did you say?
That's right. Prime Minister Anwar of Malaysia. Neighboring country of...
but people have to be patient because it's going to be incremental. But I don't see backsliding.
Well, that's promising, Yoon.
I feel like that's important that people know that it's not backsliding. Just so they don't view it that way because it's moving so slowly.
Folks, it is 9 p.m. here in the East Coast now, the top of the hour. You're watching episode 80 of the Psychic and the Sidekick.
Really?
She is the Psychic Annette Dion, YouTube show number 80. She's a Psychic Annette Dion. You can follow her on her own YouTube channel, but also book a reading with her at psychicannetteDion.com. I'm Corey from Bridge Cape Ann. Annette and I do this show for you every Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you're new, welcome. If you've been with us for a while, we love all of you and your eyes and ears and the time you spend with us. So and
love yourself, especially because it's Love Month.
Yeah. Oh, I'm also going to introduce a new membership to Bridge Cape Ann, to our channel, for just $2 a month. You can be a Bridge Buddy and you'll be entered into raffles for all kinds of great prizes, like minimum value $100, great gifts. So it helps support local businesses here. That's what I'm doing here, bridging Cape Ann to the world at large. And maybe we'll give away a reading from Annette on the show. I think I can arrange that. I know someone who knows someone.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, then how it would work is like I would be paying you for a reading and we would give that reading away.
Oh, yeah, that works. But I'm confused because
we would gift that to someone.
Bridge Cape Ann is a local thing. So, and our viewers are everywhere.
What I've done here is I'm marrying the local with the world at large.
Yeah, but but they're not here. So what do they get, things mailed to them?
Yeah, we'll have the gifts here. The winners can choose what they want. If it's a local winner, they can choose something from a local batch. If it's a winner from outside the area, they can choose something to be shipped to them. They'll have choices.
I guess I associate you kind of with the local restaurants a lot. So then I'm like, how are they going to do that?
Well, we'll have local viewers involved as well. So you can have a local prize if you're going to be in the area or not. If you need something.
I always think I always think nobody in town is watching.
Well, yeah, we haven't done the local, like to the Facebook audience yet. We only have a handful of locals on this channel because we don't promote this locally.
Yes, you do. It's in the newsletter.
Yeah, but the newsletter is kind of small-ish. Well, ish. It does well, but I don't know. I think we'd have to be on Facebook, or we'd have to be out in public doing a live show to have a local audience there, you know. But I think with the new studio and everything, with the new refresh that's going to happen, then we'll start to push it locally. Like, to me, I kind of figure we're still like in beta mode here, you know.
I think that we should do a meet and greet at the castle.
That'd be nice.
In August.
That's a commitment to get people to come here from afar.
Well, we have to plan it now if we're going to do it because people want to meet us.
Yeah. We can meet in the castle parking lot.
Why not on the lawn?
I don't know. We could do that.
We can have like a tailgate party, I guess.
Oh, look, people love it. They want to go. Gene, great idea.
They would come. They would come. We could have a picnic. We could have a catered. We have court jesters. You can be the court jester like you were in a past lifetime.
Yeah. So, folks, I'll as the weeks unfold here, I'll reveal more about that. Just the good doctor and I have to get settled into our new digs, our temporary new digs, and then once I figure that out, then I'll work on. Remember the old Wheel of Fortune on that, where the winner at the end there was like a showroom of prizes, like you have $600 to spend. Go ahead. Like I'll take the toaster for 33, the refrigerator for 400, the set of knives for. Remember how they used to do that? I want to do it like that.
Vaguely, yeah.
But we'll give people a choice of prizes.
What are you're gonna do it like that? The prize show?
We're gonna have a handful of prizes because we have to somehow solve the local and the international audience.
Oh, okay. So if
Yoon wins, we're gonna have to obviously ship it to her. If your mom wins, she can just swing by, or she can go to the Franklin.
Right. Yeah. Singapore that'd be expensive postage.
Hey, it happens. It's worth it. It's worth it. They put it,
It is.
People are spending hours a week with us, so I think it's
and they're sending you donations too, so you can take it out of that.
Yeah. I think it's a nice way to just reinvest into the channel and our efforts here.
Thank you, viewers, for sacrificing your precious time.
3 hours on a Wednesday night, that's a lot.
I'm telling you, it's a sacrifice. It's got to be. Look at all the fun things they're missing.
Yeah, they love it. But you know what? When it really comes down to, people want to watch us eat side by side. They really miss that.
We'll arrange that. Well, maybe the next show we can do at Andrews or the week after. It's up to you.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Okay. We do want to say we do have some friends. Maybe they don't live in Turkey or Syria, but they are of descent here and have family back home. And obviously they're dealing with a ridiculously difficult time right now. So thinking of those folks, right?
We need to pray. We need to send money. I told you the earth was going to shake, and it's going to shake more.
Well, and our question was from Old Guy. Will there be more earthquakes in Turkey in the near future?
I already answered that just now, just a second.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we can't do anything. We can't stop the earth from having earthquakes. So it's not just going to be Turkey. A lot of that area is going to be like, did you see there was a castle that was 2,000 years old? Speaking of castles.
No, I didn't see that. No.
2,000 years old, disintegrated. It was like a tourist attraction. I don't know what it was called. Maybe the viewers might know.
I've only known a couple of people who have actually gone to, a handful that have gone to Turkey.
Yeah, really.
No one to Syria except military.
I mean, we're moving into a time, and I've talked about this before, where we're not going to take anything for granted, and we'll all stop freaking complaining.
Yeah.
It's just...
Even in your toughest times, I don't think people realize how good they actually have it,
Whenever you're tempted to complain, zip it.
The next time you complain, I'll have to say
I'm just kidding when I'm complaining.
Code word or something.
I pretend to be miffed.
Let's have some fun here. This question comes from Anna Maria Carlisi. Can Annette say if Brad Pitt is a reincarnation of Alexander the Great, which is why he and Jennifer Aniston, who is Greek, got married?
No.
Well, you don't like the celebrity hour? We're doing the celebrity minute here on the Psychic and the Sidekick.
That's a stretch. No, Brad Pitt was not Alexander the Great. I don't get that. Why would she think that?
Well, Jennifer Aniston's Greek. They got married. He looks like a god.
Just because you're beautiful in one lifetime doesn't mean you're beautiful in all lifetimes, Mr. Brad Pitt. No, Alexander, it's funny because Sadhguru would tell us stories all the time, and he always called Alexander the Great idiot. He'd tell a story about Alexander the Great idiot. No, that's interesting. Someone would ask a question like that. Like, did they get a psychic impression of that? Whoever's asking the question? Like it just came, it was kind of out of the blue in a way, even though, like, we're not always the same nationality when we reincarnate.
Well, there's more to the question. There was a part 2 to that.
Is it, what is it?
It's along the same lines, right? So now we already have to figure out if Brad Pitt is a reincarnation of Alexander the Great.
He's not.
Now, I'm also asking whether Angelina Jolie was his male lover who drowned in the Nile and devastated him in that lifetime.
Who's asking these questions?
Anna Maria Carlisi.
I think she's messing with your head.
No, I think she means it. It's a lot of words to type for just messing with a head.
No, if someone really wants to mess with your head, they'll type as many words as they want.
That's a lot of words there.
That's a lot of feelings or impressions. And usually we're not famous.
This is true.
A lot of people think they were Cleopatra. You weren't.
Yeah, I know.
Or you weren't. Just give it up.
Typical one.
You weren't King Tut either.
Yeah. They're never just like, oh, I was a plumber.
And you
probably never says that. Yeah, I was a hobo. No.
No, I know people don't generally go there. They have to be famous.
I know. It is weird.
What else?
Hiddles asks, Annette, do you see China invading Australia?
Australia? No.
Mm.
What are you at the random question portion of the show?
Yeah, we're in that last half hour. It's like, here we go. Here comes the kitchen sink.
Like out of left field.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
These are can you see why these are at the end?
I don't see any benefit to China invading Australia at all. They're having a hard enough time as it is. President Xi is just trying to keep up appearances. It's like Putin. That's what dictators do. No need to look. Everything's fine. We're good, and they're a total mess.
Our next question, that's from Joanne D. We answered this last week, Joanne. Who is running Russia if Putin is already passed?
We answered that last.
Yeah. You want to just reiterate? It was a group.
Yeah, there's other people. There's cohorts. I still don't pick up any life energy from him.
You know what was interesting in that too is when I had my conversation with Svetlana about that, and she's like, Ukrainians, like, it's like common knowledge that Putin has all kinds of body doubles out there. And that
I didn't know that, but I get that he's dead. I get that he's very dead. So because when people talk about and Putin this and Putin that now, I'm like, wow, that just sounds so stupid. And I've been really relating it to Kim Jong-un and how it's really similar. Because Kim Jong-un died, and it's a double. If you read energy, you can't miss it. It's just it's right there.
Annette, the topic is Bill Barr. People say that he wants the truth to come out about the death of Jeffrey Epstein. What does Annette say? Does Barr want to spill the beans on Epstein?
All right. So who's saying that? Who's saying that Bill Barr wants to spill the beans? There's a lot of assumptions there.
She is saying some psychics are saying that Barr wants to spill the beans.
No. The Barr doesn't.
Psychics.
Barr doesn't want to spill what beans. There's a lot of assumptions in that question.
Right. So there are. And it's whether, I guess, the real cause of Epstein's death, because that's what I'm getting out of that.
Why? But let's look at the logic. There's no logic there. Why would Bill Barr want to spill the beans on Epstein? Right. It doesn't even make any sense that would even be a thing. I'm not asking for names.
No, I hear you. I didn't give you one.
I'm not asking who said that.
Yeah.
We're winding down, I think.
How about this one, Annette, from Deb Marsh? How will MTG's investigation of the COVID response go?
Like it's just going to be like that balloon.
There you go.
Deflate. She's in trouble. I mean, she was really stupid to make herself look as bad as she made herself look last night. And just for the record, these investigations that the fascists are planning they're gonna go over like a lead balloon, honestly. They're just gonna help the Democrats. You have that thinking posture going.
I'm looking to see if I want to pull up some questions from the live chat right now.
Does Dr. Evil do that?
I haven't shaved. My razor's in Beverly, so I haven't shaved.
Doesn't Dr. Evil and Austin Powers?
I was inspired by my Texan Twinkie here. I'm going
yeah,
all scruffed
I think he probably died a terrible death.
Would it have freaked you out if I put this screen on, but I had on a cowboy hat and the handkerchief around my bandana around my neck with this guy?
Nothing would freak me out.
Annette, John B is asking, will Pompeo run for president?
Oh my God, gag me. Gag me. That man is so disgusting. That man actually wrote a book and he thinks people are going to love him for some reason. He is a malignant, sociopathic, narcissistic a-hole. You want to know how I really feel? Jeez.
Yeah.
He literally said, "Oh, January 6th, that was a peaceful transition." You remember when he stood up there and he said, when a reporter asked him, this was I think it was before the election, the presidential election. I have to look this up. A reporter asked if Trump would transition, would there be a transfer of power? And Pompeo said yes to Trump. They'll be, just basically saying, we'll make Trump a dictator. By the way, speaking of Donald Trump, which I'm so sick of his ugly face, and I've already had 2 peeps. I can't have a third.
Here comes the sugar high. I know, here it comes.
2's my limit. I mean, they're such despicable humans. It's just, he's really gross. Oh, and was the question, will he run for president?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him getting anywhere.
Hey, who do you think is who's gonna run against Biden on the?
It's too soon to say. It really is too soon to say. That's the kind of thing that I can ask the pendulum and it's no.
Well, yeah. It is where the Democrats are starting to align themselves behind Biden again. It was like Biden to be the prominent candidate for reelection.
If Biden is president again, after what we heard of his list of his accomplishments, I read a list of his accomplishments from an article that was written in August of last year, and it was humongous. And I read it on my live stream on my PNN, and I had to stop reading it because there was more, and I was just going on and on and on and on. I mean, I'm sorry, people. We have this incredible miracle that happened in our country, that we got a president that knew what the F he was doing. I almost did a swear word. It almost slipped out.
Yeah, no swearing on this channel.
I mean, let's just get it in perspective. We almost lost it all, including if Trump had been president again. This is what I was thinking about COVID too, how the universe is a self-correcting system and made Trump not win because of COVID. COVID came in, he did not get reelected because of that. I said the other night, I don't care if Joe Biden is in bed being president. Oh, making calls, just doing Zoom, whatever. I don't care if he's 90 being president. Well, I don't want him to be 90 being president, but you get my point. FDR was in a wheelchair.
In bed.
In bed, right. So why not? And Biden's in good health. He does have a slur. And he does have a stutter.
He's always had a stutter, yeah.
Yeah.
So to piggyback on the spiritual seeker 583 asks, are there people in Biden's own administration that don't want him to run again? Do you get that vibe?
Between the ageism and the negativity, I just can't even go there anymore.
Well, maybe, but maybe that's not that. Maybe it's a strategy.
For what?
I wonder if there is some question on whether they think Biden could beat DeSantis, if it came down to that. I'm asking just to ask. I'm asking for
Corey.
The sake of discussion. That's all.
Corey.
Oh.
What do you know about Ron DeSantis? What? That scene looks really weird right now. Something popped up when you went. It was like
that's the back of my chair.
Green thing. Oh, okay. It looked strange. Tell me what you know about Ron DeSantis.
I know. No, I was just asking to ask. I'm just saying that because I'm gathering what's being thrown in the live chat and some of the questions, and I pieced together what I think people need.
I refuse to listen. I refuse to. I wrote an email to MSNBC. I refuse to listen to any suggestion that Ron Fascist DeSantis, whatever the hell his name is, would even be remotely considered a human. I mean, it's such a far stretch. It's just like Trump. I will not even, I would not even entertain the thought. The children are going to school, begging their teachers, asking their teachers, are we going to be able to have books? Come on, people. Really? That's who people want for president? Ron DeSantis? Bite your tongue. The children want to read books, and he took them away. You better shut me down.
It's almost time for the community card. For a cool down and a community card.
People should be very angry that he's in the position that he's in. I mean, are we a soulless nation? No, we're not. There's good people there that want out there that want help. Joe Biden said that last night. America has good people. Why on God's earth would we want to even consider? I mean, what you said doesn't even make any sense. I know I'm picking on you.
No.
But why would anyone in the Biden administration, that know how much has been accomplished, why would they think, well, we don't know if he can beat DeSantis? Wait till I see you in person.
I'm telling you, I pieced these from questions that we get. I have these. We're in the scraps.
This came from the chat?
It's mostly from the questions I take last night.
And they're actually bringing this up as a viable thing?
It's more like, I think they hear, let's say from the other side, which is trying to create discord or trying to or create fissures or try to amplify
what's a fissure? What's a fissure?
A fissure, like a crack, a crevice.
Oh.
Right. So they hear what maybe the other half is trying to stir up. Like, okay, not the entire party behind Biden, or they don't think he can he might not be the best candidate for that party to serve for the next 4 years. So then I try to piece that stuff together and present it in a question to you. You know what I'm saying?
The two are opposite ends of the spectrum.
Well, true.
They call him just Satan for a reason. It's unbelievable. You know, it's just people. I just want to see people use their brains and use their critical thinking and their deductive reasoning. That is my most fervent desire, that people really read and let things steep and reflect and think about consequences of actions and their thoughts and what they do and what they don't do. I really want to see that. I mean, case in point, when we were talking about George Santos, Pinocchio, we call him Pinocchio now. When Mitt Romney went up to him and was like, you don't belong here. Let's just be that frank. Ron DeSantis does not belong in any public office at all whatsoever, unless he wants to go to North Korea and take up some kind of an office there. I'm sorry to rant, but that makes me rant. So when Mitt Romney did that to Pinocchio last night, I want more of that. I want us really just more of course, somebody needs to say something. Of the state, the obvious. I'm going to watch that movie, Idiocracy, again. Seen it?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time.
I think I'm going to watch it again just to compare.
All right, you watched Danny Deckchair and
do we talk about it all the time?
Yeah, you bring it up on it. You bring it up almost every week.
Because it's Idiocracy. No, I do not bring it up every week, Corey.
It's close. It's
no, that is not true. I don't bring that up every week.
Bridgies.
I'm going to deck you.
See? People at Froxy Roxy just said Corey's going to show up next week with a black eye. This might be me next week, folks. If that's me laying in there, you know what happened.
The deceased Twinkie.
Yeah.
Is going to move over. Corey.
So, Annette, we are pushing 9:30.
I know. I'm pulling community cards right now.
Oh, you are? Okay.
It's 9:30. People don't want 4-hour shows. I don't think.
You're talking to the wrong people. These people want. These people want Jerry Lewis times 2.
All right. Let's do this. Somebody throw up a question for the collective.
All right, folks. Somebody out there responsibly throw up a question.
That's responsible and thought-provoking.
Somebody, I'll rephrase the next word. Will somebody up there please vomit a question for our community card?
A question for the collective.
Yeah, for the collective, for all of us until we meet again this time next week.
You're going to take the first one if it's not ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm waiting. There's a little lag between the live chat.
Oh, okay.
Christian says, bring on the 4-hour show.
Really?
Lisa, we're here for the long run.
I can't even
we should have a pajama party sometime and just go until we drop.
Just like an all-nighter. We can all cook and hang out. You can ask me questions on cooking.
Mary Sherman, will Jared's money be taken from him? The money he got from Saudi Arabia? If you've already answered, never mind.
No, that's not a question for the collective.
Got one for you from our Blue Wrench, Christian Montone. How do we begin to bring empathy back to our country?
I like that question.
Old guy has another one. Can Annette actually control her emotions?
Why would I want to control my emotions?
Woo! Old guy.
Can
Ryan
I?
Beecher. Will we soon go into a regret over mistakes made mode?
You mean mistakes in this country and the collective?
Jamie Johnson, what do we need to know for the week ahead?
Well, that's what I usually do. I was just asking for.
Scott Allen, is the collective going to reach more understanding of each other? There's a lot of great questions out there.
Yeah, well, that's generally, the question about whether we're going to kind of come together. I think last night was a start. The guides told me at the start of the year we were going to go through 3 months of holy hell in our government, and then by April things are going to kind of even out. So hold on to your hat until like mid next month. it's pretty close to spring, right? Yeah. Wait, hold on to your cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you really quickly, and I expressed this to my group last night. I was watching a clip of, there's a young guy, I think his name is Luke something. Anyway, he has a YouTube channel, and he was doing this thing where we've seen other people do this, going to a Trump rally and asking the Trumpsters questions. And he was talking to somebody who was about his age. So he's probably 25 or something. And at a certain point, you could tell that the Trumpster kid, his age, his mind was starting to open up. And there was sort of this revelation that the kid had been kind of so misled. And so like, and the guy who has the channel, this kid, he said after that we had a conversation. I'm bringing this up because I really think when people start to recognize that there are innocent people, I mean, there are elders who have been duped by Trump. There are innocent people. Think about elders that get scammed, right? If that doesn't bring up compassion and caring and wanting justice, then I don't know what does. So check your heart. So we will see as people start to, wake up to, this man has been robbing this country blind, for one thing. And we start to see the good people doing good things and the bad people just being horrible and screwing everything up. We're going to start leaning towards the compassion and the kindness more and more and more. As things get better and people get less afraid, they'll get kinder. Because we all know when we are stretched to our limits and exhausted, and like so many people are having trouble, if they only get minimum wage jobs and they have to have 3-4 jobs, with this administration, that can all change. And when we see the good things starting to happen, people are going to start to feel less stressed. Because what's that saying? And me and Andrew said it at the same time the other day, the streamography guy. A rising tide lifts all ships. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to make a difference. So the answer is yes. It's that contrast again. When we see how horrible it is to be all in the dark and the hatred and the vitriol and the violence and the evil, we will choose more strongly to be the opposite. And that's not just optimism. That's the way it works. Most people that I know don't like ugliness. That's what they say in the South. We're just being ugly.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, bless your heart. Bless your heart. You don't know that you're being ugly and you're gonna get into trouble for that. What goes around comes around. That's just a way. It's not really karma, but it's a law of the universe. What goes around comes around. So I have a lot of compassion. I really do. I feel really sad for people that have been just really misled. And they sunk all their emotional energy into this shyster. And they didn't know any better. And I know that people are all hateful about, I hate them. I don't talk to my family. Take it to the level of they don't know any better. And they found somebody to showcase anger and vitriol because they had it in them, because they were wounded in some way. I know there are terrible people, but there are a lot of people that are nice people that are just not too smart and that got duped by Trump. And DeSantis is another one that's duping everyone too. So just take heart. I didn't pull any cards. It is going to get better. But we're all part of that, and we have to decide we're going to make it better. You know what I mean? We know we have our work cut out for us. We just have to be kind. And it's on an individual level, we have to not flip the bird at the person who I did that today when I was in my car. Full disclosure. I had stopped because somebody was crossing the street, and then somebody behind me got angry. I mean, the guy was going right into the street. I had to stop my car and let him go. And someone was mad at me for doing that. So, you know.
You let it fly.
But I don't control my emotions. Why should I? No, they didn't see me. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm just making the point. There are awful people in the world, right? There always are going to be awful people in the world that are just, what do you want me to hit the guy? You know? So the more we hear about good news, the better things will be. There will be a lot of heroic stories. Did you hear about the guy? There was a guy in Massachusetts, I don't know, it might have been on I-95 or something, and he noticed a car driving erratically, and he realized the driver had fallen asleep at the wheel.
I didn't know.
He jumped out of his car and he ran and ran and ran and ran and ran till he could get in the passenger seat while the car was moving, and he stopped the car. So look at those stories. I came across it in the news. It was this past week. This is good news coming. There is good news coming. When people get happy about good news, and I do see justice coming too. When we get less scared, we're going to be nicer. And this whole thing that we've been going through with, there's no justice that we see yet. That's a very stressful and unsafe place to be. And when people get scared, they get nasty. It's just the way it is. Yep.
And there you have it, folks. That wraps up another edition of the Psychic and the Sidekick. If you want to book a reading with Annette, just go to psychicannetteDion.com. We'll be back this time next week. I'll let you guys know how the move goes or if any other new videos pop up. I know I'm going to be pretty busy next week. I had to push some appointments. So I got a bunch of shoots coming up next week, but I'll do what I can to be back on 7 p.m. Tuesday to gather your questions for Annette, and then we'll be here next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Maybe we sneak in a little studio show sooner than later. We'll let you guys know about that, but that's about it from my end, Annette. Anything else?
Take my classes. I have classes coming up this week. This Saturday is Let Yourself Love Yourself, based on the work of Louise Hay. And the classes have been really fun, and they're recorded too. So it's like you get to watch it twice.
Nice.
You get to be present live, and then you get to watch it later too.
Yeah. We have to thank our wrenches, Annalie Finch, Christian Montone, Thankful Mom, as always. Thanks for keeping an eye on things for us. And to all of you who spent all this time with us tonight, we really appreciate it. We can't wait to do it again for all of you. So have fun. Be safe. Love and light to all of you. Annette, thanks for your gifts again. This was a good one.
Thank you for your gifts.
And we'll see you on the other side of the weekend, okay?
All right.
All right. Bye for now, folks.
Good night. See you.